Yeah.
Cool. Watch, play.
What's going on, everybody?
All right,
Welcome. We actually started on time, I think.
1 minute late. That's actually good for us.
Jeez, I thought it was pretty good, actually.
That's actually good for us.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. We're good. We're on.
All right. How is everybody? Doing good, hopefully. December, our live stream. We got a really, really cool guest coming up a little bit that I'm excited to bring on because I know I've watched him a lot with a lot of his live streams. And Andy did it again. You do that all the time. But I'm really happy to have Michael Feyrer Jr. on later. And there's Jeff, the idiot of the day. He does live streaming every day as well. I love his channel. How are you, Jeff? Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. I saw Jay Littman. He's from Baltimore. I'm going to talk a little bit later.
Cool.
He's a vlogger that's done a lot of work with Michael Feyrer. They just did a collab, and they're actually doing a Baltimore hangout.
Nice.
In March with a bunch of YouTubers that maybe we can be involved in. We'll talk about that later, though. Hey, Jay, how are you, buddy? Glad you could get away from the kids. He was worried that he has kids to get put to bed just like we do.
Yeah,
that's why we're late a lot. So I'm glad you got the kids to bed. Anyway, so Andy, how are you doing, man? Why don't you tell everybody kind of what we've been up to?
All right.
What kind of month we had?
Well, let's start off with important stuff first.
Let's do it.
Because I always fill you guys in on important things happening in the world. And so in
no.
October and November, we were talking about the Def Leppard Hall of Fame vote.
Oh, gosh.
Because they make the announcement tomorrow. They won the Hall of Fame vote
Jeez.
by over 100,000
So
votes.
important, right?
Yeah, this is important stuff. 100,000 votes over Stevie Nicks, who's in second place. So I'm hoping to see them enshrined tomorrow. Again, too long. It took too long. It should have been a long time.
Well, maybe we should do a video on that, right?
I have a brew idea for that. That kind of encapsulates both the Lep and my Montreal Expos love too.
Totally appropriate.
Yeah. So I think we'll come
all right.
that. So anyway, yeah. We have a slew of new videos coming out. We're going to tell you about this again later on. But we got our hands on another Bourbon County Stout. So if you haven't seen, you want to pull that one out?
Ooh, it's coming. It's coming. No, one more.
This is the coffee.
Empty.
Empty Bourbon County coffee barley wine. It was cool. It was a neat beer. You'll probably see that video. Hopefully, drop tomorrow.
So we got 6 of the 8 we did. And
6 of the 8 we got them.
Thanks to our friend Mike in Chicago who got that, sent it to us.
Very,
really
very
nice
cool. So we have now, we'll have 6-7 videos in this Bourbon County Stout series, which has done wonders for us.
Amazing.
It really took off. We were excited, and
60,000 watch time.
Yeah, we were really lucky with how
a ton for us.
How this took off.
Yeah,
it was fantastic, and each one of the videos quickly eclipsed 1,000 watch.
They're over 2,000.
It's been great. So we're very lucky.
Tough morning the day after that, though.
Yeah, you might see a little bit of that too.
we did.
Really cool.
If you know Bourbon County Stout, we reviewed 6 of their beers, and we split them, but they're 15% beers. And they're so good. Oh man, the next morning was Thanksgiving. Not good. I
was outside grilling a bird. I feel a little bit of the hangover effect. But yeah, it was really cool. So
no doubt.
So we'll have one more of those coming.
Yep.
We've got ours. We're filming another state series tomorrow, which is cool.
Not state series. Cellar series.
Cellar series. State series coming up too. You'll see that. So we got, like I said, all kinds of stuff. Cellar series tomorrow will be our December episode. If you haven't checked out November or October, we did the Chimay 150th
Can you tell everybody what the
anniversary.
Cellar series is again? They're not familiar, some of them.
All right, so we'll get there. Cellar series is where we go hang out at a local restaurant and lounge with a guy named Mike, who we've known for a while. He owns the restaurant, and he also cellars beers, and he's just a guru with his beer knowledge is outstanding. Yeah. But he's got stuff that's been sitting around for a long time.
8-9 years.
He got his hands on. So last month we did Chimay 150th anniversary brew that he had. That they only had 2,500. Now think about this: 2,500 cases were delivered to the United States alone. That's it. So nationwide, that's nothing.
Nothing.
And he has a case here, so we sampled that. The month before that, we did the Pumpkin Southern Tier.
Yep.
Pumpkin Ale, 17 versus 18.
Okay.
And that was cool. And then, so tomorrow we're going to be doing a little Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
So
we're excited about
fill in that. We'll get that out to you.
And then we also have Oktoberfest, and it's December.
We're getting to that.
So we had a huge party. You probably remember that. We had our huge party here. We all have it every year. we of course do a video, but that's a big time edit on Andy.
Well, but you'll see us actually sample one of our beers from Oktoberfest tonight because we sent one out to Michael. He's gonna get a chance to sip on that, so we'll sip on the Pour Some Pumpkin on me with him tonight, which is cool. So
I think we're also doing a holiday.
Yeah. So hello to a few people.
Yeah, let's do a shout out. Let's do it from the beginning. Who's in here? Let's talk about who's in here.
Jojo G is here. Cole Outdoors, Florida Pirate Adventures. Good
Florida Pirate Adventures. That's my man right there. All right.
Dangerous. What's happening?
Dangerous Curves. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Stopping in.
She says she has a still. She's gonna possibly. I don't know what liquor she does, but maybe do a little trade.
All right. Hey,
she doesn't drink, she says, though. I don't understand that. I didn't understand that, Dangerous Curve. You said
you don't know what you're sending us. You want us to sample it for you. So
we would send her some beer, and she would, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but there she is. There you go. There you go.
That's cool.
Cole Outdoors. Hey, man, thanks for joining us. Really, I love seeing so many different creators in here, not just beer related. And that's why our guest tonight, Michael, is so important because he's really good. He got us in touch with, and we wanted to pay it back to him, hopefully.
Chris is on Beaded Beerman. So hey, Chris, check your email if you haven't seen it yet. We got your goodie package today, man. If you hadn't seen,
literally 10 minutes ago,
I showed up at the door. There's a package there, and it was from you. Now this, my heart just melted. This is a gift that I am
not taking all of them.
I'm not gonna take all of them, just 3, maybe 4. You have no idea. Forever indebted, but we're going to shoot you a link maybe later if you want to jump on board, and maybe we'll sample that rye right.
Yeah, if you're still on, man.
So if you're still on, if you're hanging around with us for a while, maybe we'd
love to do that.
Let us know. We'll pull you on, and maybe we can talk about your story too, because they were here. They here safe and sound. They're awesome.
Thanks for that good surprise.
Yeah, very very cool. But we might have to crack open one of these tonight.
Maybe let's get. Oh, Drunken One's here. The famous Drunken One.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Glad you can make it. That's awesome. I'm glad we have some beer guys, some non-beer guys. Really, really appreciate all that. Check out everybody's on there.
Subscribe, really good creators. Support everybody here. A lot of good stuff. A lot of good people here.
How many people saw our good? Hopefully everybody knows. I'm sure knows Pusa Studios, but our good friend Jaded Diva was on Pusa Studios Monday night. I think Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. Did amazing. Hopefully you saw him, and hopefully everybody knows who Pusa Studios are because they're amazing. And he did a really good job. It's hard being one-on-one with them. Not hard, but like for 2.5 hours, and he did it flawlessly.
He's a good dude. He's I love watching his stuff.
Dangerous Curve says she wants it. I think she wants your Def Leppard beer.
Yeah, this is so. Send us some of your mystery.
I don't know if you'll get that from him.
Stuff and I am so stoked about this.
I know.
Beerman, man.
Hey, we got Brandon, Craft Beer Pours. Hey, buddy, how are you?
What's up, Craft Beer Pours?
I know he's probably drinking something.
Yeah, let us know what you guys are sipping on tonight, if you guys are.
You know what? I wanted to do this. Let's see if we can start doing this. I would love to know if you're drinking something and you have Twitter. I've seen, again, this is kind of copying off other people. Tweet out a picture of you drinking something during our stream and just hashtag it 21090, 2TN90. So we can see it after the stream. I'm not going to get on Twitter now. I'm not that tech savvy. But we would love to see if anybody would tweet out a picture of them drinking a beer or watching us live on Twitter so we can go back and see them. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. 210. So hashtag 21090. I don't think anybody else has that hashtag. Let's do it. If you guys want to, put it out there. Let's see if you can do it. I know Craft Beer Pours was drinking something. Him and Trish. I know Drunken One's probably got something. There's Michael Feyrer. We're going to bring you on, Mike, about 5 minutes. So hang tight. I'm glad you're on. We should probably give him a wrench. That might help, right? Yep. I'm going to add him as a moderator. Thank you so much. Jay's there. Okay, so Jesse, this isn't Jesse. I think Jesse, is it? That's not Jesse from Bumpy Road. That's a different Jesse.
So welcome, Jesse. I think so.
All right, good. All right, just making sure. A lot of good people in the chat.
Here. Yeah, we got some people coming. This is great. This is fun stuff.
What else? Anything else before we get to our special guest? Because I know he's
I'm looking forward to getting him on. I'm trying to think what we do have. We'll talk about some of the other stuff coming up.
Oh, can we give a little nugget to the people that are in the chat? I am doing on this Friday. I have off.
Yeah.
So I'm brewing a beer. I'm brewing a chocolate oatmeal stout. I'm going to go live. I'm not really going to promote it. Don't really care. But if you want to see, and Andy will stop by maybe for a little bit. He's doing some things. He's not brewing, but he might stop by. What the heck? I'm going to go live probably around 10 a.m. It's a daytime breakfast brew. And if you want, join me, and you can see how we do things here at 1090 Brewing Wise.
Breakfast with Todd.
Breakfast
is there
brew day.
anything better?
Nothing better.
I mean, talk about an exciting
I
Friday
think so.
morning.
I think so.
Yeah, check it out. I'll stop by. Some of us have to work, so I'll probably stop by.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm off.
See what we can do.
I want to give a shout out just to Jeff, Idiot of the Day, which is a funny channel. He had a daily live stream similar to Michael. I really hope everybody can check him out because he's a great dude up in Canada. I think we met him through Pusa maybe, or maybe even through Michael Feyrer Jr. I don't know. His wife is, I think, JoJo. Great people. Really enjoy their live streams. So check him out. As well as Jay Littman. I got to give a shout out to him. He's a local guy here in Baltimore who is an amazing editor, vlogger, really does great stuff. He should have way more than what he has subscriber-wise. I think he's got like 500 subscribers. He should have 3 times that. There's no doubt. Check out Jay Littman. Does great work. So here's my plugs.
No, it's good. And again, everyone on here, just keep the support going because good stuff going on. Top to bottom. We're glad you're here.
JD3MF. Thank you, man.
Yep,
Appreciate it. And a Party Source. That's a good dude right there. They have a big store. I know that they've done some stuff with Jaded and Craft Beer Pours with like sending beers out and stuff. Really cool channel and good place. So Party Source, thanks for joining us.
Very cool. So
and Eclipse, I'm sorry, I keep doing Eclipse Brewing, another home brewer.
Yeah.
They saw Eclipse. I know you saw Jaded on Pusa. You must have enjoyed that as well. Same with Craft Beer Pours. We all supported him on Monday night. So Michael, you've had the link.
Yep, you can jump on.
Jump on anytime. Let's bring you in here, man. I want to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And then we can maybe drink your Def Leppard Pale. I'll take mine home tonight, but we'll.
What's that?
We'll drink your one.
No, we won't
tonight.
No, we won't. We won't do that.
Could not be happier for that. There he is.
Hey,
what's going on, guys?
Michael, it's so good to finally talk to you. Wow, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. Hold on, let me kill the sound on this on the stream here so I can just hear you guys. There we go. Now let me see. There we go. I was hearing two times in my ears. Not good.
You're a busy man, so I really appreciate you taking an hour or so out of your night. I know we stopped you from editing, but I want to thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. Uh-oh.
We got you.
All day. We were out in Baltimore yesterday doing I got something really special coming out on video content marketing tomorrow. Jay is going to tell us how to make money using some YouTube skills, selling stock footage. And I'm really excited about it. The video's turning out. I'm excited.
So, Mike, let me back up before that. I know a lot of your supporters are here tonight helping us and watching you, but maybe there's people that don't know who you are. I don't know. Probably not. You're pretty famous. I want to back up before we even get to video content. I want to back up to talk about your story and how you kind of, if you can tell it, how you transitioned to a full-time job that you were doing 9 to 5 to being what you are now, which is a full-time YouTuber. That was a huge leap. And some of the things that you've learned. Just tell us your story a little bit. I'd love to hear that.
Well, I have a video. The very first video I ever released on my channel is called The End of the Beginning. I think it's still called that. I don't think I changed it. And essentially it tells the story, but it's sort of out of sequence. In the video, I talk about how I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I wanted to just try my hand at some daily vlogging because, in my opinion, when you're a creative person, you never really feel like your stuff is good enough or that you're creative enough or that you know, and I just wanted to have an outlet to say, I don't really care whether it's good enough or not. I just want to express my creativity, put it out there and see if anybody's ever even interested in watching it. Well, I did this about, I think, 2 or 3 days before I got laid off. And of course, I started filming every day after that. I was going to build up 5 videos and then put them all out. And as it ended up, that's how I ended up getting footage inside work and all that kind of stuff, because that actually happened, where I made the decision to do that a couple of days before I got let go. And just kind of serendipitous. If you put it out there to the universe and you tell them what you want, magically they're just going to give it to you. So I worked for a Fortune 500 company as a tech support guy for 17 years. And instantly the universe gave me what I really wanted, which was to find what I was meant to do, which I think is filmmaking and YouTube. I love doing this. So that's pretty much how the channel got kicked off. And from there, it's just been a process of trying to figure out how to grow an audience and how to make content that's interesting for people to watch. And there's some crazy stuff on there. I went on a trip for 16 days through the U.S. Southern area, I guess, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, and Georgia, just basically hiking and delivering a video every single day with a live broadcast that just talked about where I was and asking people if they would, if they wanted to come hike with me, I'd give them a $50 Amazon gift card. And that's pretty much where the true beginnings of the channel actually started. That's where the audience really started to grow. No one actually came and hiked with me. But I'm almost sure I couldn't do it now without somebody coming out and meeting me.
That's hilarious. So that's where the best hour of my day came from? That's how it started? Or is that
original? Yeah, that's actually the origin of the best hour of my day. So the concept was I have a $50 Amazon gift card and a $500 budget. I'm living on the cheap and I'm camping everywhere and then hiking every single day. And I'd go live in the morning. And the purpose originally was I was just going to go live to give people some hints as to where I might be hiking that day to make it easy for them to come and find me. And I really, man, my first lives were so bad and I was so nervous, and it took a long time to get to the point where I could do a live broadcast and enjoy it. But that's pretty much the birth of it. People really enjoyed the upbeat, you know, I'm just a positive person. And I was basically beating myself up on the trail and driving hours every day to get to different locations. And I think people just enjoyed the upbeat, fun, goofy, let's talk about other people's channels and have some fun. And when I decided I wasn't going to do the travel adventure series anymore, because it was just, it kind of felt stale. It felt like the same thing every day. I said, well, I really want to keep this live broadcast. What can I do to, you know, keep that part of the thing that my audience really loves? And it just became the best hour of my day. And I don't know where the actual name came from. It must have been just me thinking about, you know, how even when I was doing all the hiking and camping and seeing all these beautiful things, the thing I looked forward to the most was just getting a chance to meet with the awesome folks that would come and hang out with me in the morning before I'd go out and torture myself with a 20-mile hike and a 3-hour drive. So I could set up again and edit all night. Yeah.
So you started this about, what, a year ago? How long? It's not been that long for you, right?
No, January 15th will be a year.
15th. Wow. Wow. So, you know, we started this sort of, if you go back to some of our earlier videos, it's really bad. I mean, I started doing this just to chronicle our brewing, like, and he would come brew and not want any part of this. And now he's running the show. You know, he's the creative genius behind everything we do. I kind of just facilitate everything and brew. So it's funny how that works. It's sort of similar. We were really bad, and we're still not very good, but you know, you try to improve every day. And I'm not sure how we connected. I don't know if we found you through. I'm trying to understand how we even found you, Michael. But I know initially I saw your best hour of the day, and that got me hooked right away. And I said, Andy, you got to watch this. This is amazing. And how he's using sort of the live stream every day to connect with people. And that's what really got me. I think that was the amazing thing. You started growing community just sort of organically. I don't know if you meant to do it that way. Yeah,
it was kind of, you know, it was, I'm not sure if it was kind of the plan or not. But once I noticed that people started to come every day just to hang out and chat and grow and grow as like a best hour family is kind of the way I like to look at it. Then it clicked and it said, all right, well, this no matter what happens, this can't really go away. This is something that is really, there's something there. I have a question for Andy. So you didn't originally want to be on the channel at all. So how did that come about? Because I can tell you, just from my backstory or my perspective, I can tell you right now, my wife never wanted to have anything to do with any of this. She didn't want to be on camera. She didn't want to be a part of the channel. And she would start to watch the best hour of my day and say, well, wait a second, there's really something here. And these people are like family. And I'm going to meet all these folks in Ohio and And next thing you know, I'm down, you know, I'm traveling all over just to meet with all these YouTubers. She used to laugh and say, you're meeting, you know, complete strangers, and they're like your best friends. And they just grew into family. And that's what encouraged her to get on here, because she started to feel like the folks that I was talking to were family, and she wanted to be a part of that. So what made you decide to get in front of the camera?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, I
like it.
And that's very touching. I think that's great. Honestly, it was because Todd needed so much help.
I can't argue with that.
No, you know, it's funny because I think when he first asked me to do this, I said, well, I tend to take things to the extreme sometimes, and he's great at pulling me back in. But we can't do it if we don't have the logo.
That sounds pretty familiar.
Yeah,
it's you, Michael.
If we don't have music, we can't do it. If we don't have video editing, we could. So, and then the more I would learn something, the more I would. Well, we could try and do this, or we could try and do that. And so, you know, we started literally with. I remember this. It's funny because Chris Beaded Beerman sent us these Def Leppard beers, and you can see we did a couple Leopard videos a while back. They're really funny, but the original one that we thought was this groundbreaking thing is I made a poster and I put 21090 brewing in the Def Leppard font and like stuck it on that, and we did this little draft where we drafted ingredients for a beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to stand out. We're going to be different. We look back now and we laugh at like, oh, that's terrible. But every video we did, it was like, we got to do something different. We got to do something unique. We can't just be beer reviewers. We have to try and find a way to stand up. We're going to do this like let's do it differently. And Todd's great because he's this. He has this analytic brain that he is just the machine that makes this run from an analytical side. I could never do it. But then he gives me the creative freedom to say, you know, we're going to be doing this video we're going to be wearing zombie makeup and doing a Walking Dead beer. And then we're going to be doing, you know, we're going to be doing this October. So we work really, really well together. And I don't think I would have done this with anybody else. I think, but we've been friends forever, and it just really.
Yeah. I knew he had it in him, Mike. I've known him all my life. So I knew he liked to be sort of out there. And so the fact that he wasn't, I knew I could get it out of him if I just, you know, gave him that chance. And finally he just said, you know what, I kind of like it, but let's make it better. And that's kind of how he got involved.
So now he tells me that, you know, now I don't let him speak. So I'm trying to give him.
No.
Well, just keep in mind, guys, that, and I learned this really early on, in fact, that the Travel Adventure series pretty much ended because of the formatting. And that was because I realized when I was watching my analytics back, people didn't give a crap about beautiful scenic views and awesome, amazing waterfalls. They were coming to see me. Now, God only knows why. But the truth is, your guys' personality is what makes this happen. All the flashy graphics and all that stuff are really nice, and they might attract people in at first. But really, it's the personality of you guys that makes it happen. And then, you guys are awesome. I enjoy watching you all the time.
We appreciate it. Yeah,
so I got the brews you sent me right here. I'm just wondering.
What did you get?
Let's see what we got here. I got this one. You can see how freaking old I am. The Foursome Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Okay, this one
here. Play off of Def Leppard. That's the pumpkin ale right there.
Okay, so it's the Def Leppard font right there.
There you go. Yeah, it's hard to read.
And I'm gonna have that now. Actually,
all right, we'll open it with you. How's that? We got one right here. So this is awesome. Andy Brew right here, Michael.
I do this every year for the Oktoberfest. This is the English brown ale with pumpkin pie spices in it. Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't had this one in a little while.
So we still have a little bit of this left from the party. We had 6 kegs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of beer to brew. All home brews. So I had my basement looking like a professional brew house.
That is a lot of brew.
That is a lot of beer. That's a lot of. So cheers to you, Michael. This is our
cheers to you guys. Oh man, that smells delicious.
You like that?
Mm. Epic. Oh man, that's fantastic.
Isn't that good?
That is awesome.
Pumpkin, yeah. You like pumpkin ales? I know you said that, so that's why.
I love them. So this one you sent me, and this one is double duck pin.
Yep.
Strike no malt.
Now, double
IPA?
Like, do you know what duck pin bowling is?
I have no idea.
Okay, so this is really a Maryland thing. duck pin bowling is small pins,
small balls,
and small bowling balls, and regular size lanes, but the pins and the balls are smaller, and you get 3 chances to roll versus 2. And they're all over Maryland. It's literally a Maryland thing.
Yeah.
It's like and people go crazy for it here. So this company Union, this brewery has a duck pin IPA, and then they've got their double duck pin, which is their double IPA. They're fantastic. So we sent you that puppy too.
That's awesome. Now, is that done indoors or outdoors?
It's indoors.
Indoors. Yep, just like regular bowling. It's just it really is the same thing except everything's small. I don't know where that came from, but it's only in Baltimore.
Kids love
it. I've never heard of it.
And you don't live far away.
Got Lost IPA. No, I don't live that far away.
Yeah.
And then we've got the big Lost IPA here.
Really good.
That's Burley?
This is Burley Oak in Berlin, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore.
I'm not sure I've tried
this. This is just got canned. This is super fresh.
So we'll be trying this one together. I'm not sure I've had this one yet, which is cool.
So anyway,
awesome. Well, we'll get through those, and I might get stupid later, so we'll see what happens. Because I don't.
That makes better stream. You know that.
I know. Some people think I'm goofy enough as it is, so we'll see what happens. But I'm excited. This is really awesome.
Awesome. That's it.
I'm glad you like it. This is my favorite one to do.
Yeah, it's certainly a party favorite for the fall time.
If I were going to name a beer after Def Leppard, it had to be worth doing. So I figured, but yeah, I'm glad you like it. We do this one every fall.
Question for you, Mike. I always like to ask some of our guests questions. We know, like, you love the vlog. You're very tech savvy. What do you like to do outside of your vlog? If you had something to do, what's your interest area outside of your YouTube channel? What do you really love to do?
All right, so there's probably 2 things, and in some ways the vlog is incorporated, or in some ways the vlog was part of the idea. Monica and I, we love Disney, so I absolutely love to travel. We love to go to Disney. Before I started doing this, we went every year. This is probably the first year in 10 years I haven't been able to go. So we're definitely missing it, and I'm probably going to have to find a way to get down there and go at least for an afternoon or 2 and visit with some YouTubers this year. But I don't know if I can actually do that without Monica, so we'll see how that works. But Disney is number 1 probably. Well, actually, it's maybe 1A, because cars are just my thing. I love cars. I've always loved cars. I have a lot of, if you look into my older content, all kinds of videos. I have a video where I talk about most of the cars I've ever owned. I know people probably find it hard to believe that I actually own more cars than that. Yep. I have a video where my daughter and I painted we painted a Beetle pink with purple racing stripes, because essentially I wanted to try to get my kids to enjoy cars as much as I do. And for me, driving is an interactive thing, and I always wanted my kids to learn to drive stick, not for the usual excuses that, well, if your friend drives stick, because none of their friends drive stick. That really, the old dad excuse that if your friend drives a stick and he gets to drive his car, that doesn't work anymore because nobody drives stick. But I just wanted to I knew I enjoyed driving a car so much more because it's interactive when you drive a manual transmission. So when I told my daughter that she had to drive a manual transmission because she thought it was only for my son, she said, that's fine, but it's going to be, I want a pink car. So we went out and we bought this cheap 99 Beetle, and we painted it pink with racing stripes and redid the entire interior. And I learned how to do everything that's done in that video on YouTube, everything. So I'm just a huge car fan. My last 3 cars have been, I had 2, what were they? 2 Subaru BRZs before I had the Mustang. Before that, I had a Dodge Challenger, and I've had Honda Accord Coupe EXL, which may be the fastest car I've actually ever owned. I know that sounds shocking, but
have you ever thought about incorporating that into your channel, like your love of cars, and like that's a whole niche itself, you know?
It really is. There are so many. In fact, there's a guy who probably lives within 5-mile radius of where I live right now, who has, I think, about 250,000 subscribers on his channel, and he's a car vlogger. So there are plenty of folks in the area that I plan to collaborate within the next year or so. There are at least 2 or 3 in Hershey who do car stuff. And I'd love to do that sort of thing, but when you're just starting out from an expense standpoint, it's kind of insane how much it costs to get involved in that sort of thing. So it's one of those things where I'd go to car shows, I film that stuff. You know, if I see something cool, I'll film it. I've certainly filmed lots of car stuff on the channel, but I don't know that I'd ever make it a focus of the vlog. I think it would be fun to do, but I'd probably have to just start a new vlog and maybe do once a month a car video of some sort.
Yeah. So you mentioned Disney, though. I'm actually taking my family in April, Michael, to Disney.
Oh.
So it's 3 boys, 13, 5, and 2, and my wife and my parents. So we're all going down for a week. It's amazing. And my son's over there. He's very happy that I just said that. I can't believe how much preparation and planning it takes, though. I mean, I know you go every year, but good Lord, between, you know, getting everything organized from your dinners to your fast passes to it's a complete job almost to get this thing organized to go. It's ridiculous.
Is this your first time going down?
You know, yeah, I love Disney too, but I don't go that often. So this will be probably my 10th time going, 5th with the family. I mean, I have a 13-year-old. This will be his 4th time going. So yeah.
One of the things that we loved about going was the actual prep.
Yeah.
Oh, we have our favorite places to eat and trying to work that around the park hours. So we'd get, you know, because
where is your favorite place to eat in Disney? Come on, give me something. Give me some place that I should go.
Well,
keeping in mind I have 3 boys that are.
So if you want a place to go that you'll never hear about in a lot of the vlogs and all that stuff, there's a place at the Grand Floridian called the Grand Floridian Cafe.
Already have reservations for it.
They have just amazing steaks, and
I've heard.
Monica loves the fish there. I don't think we've ever gone without eating there at least once, and we've actually gone and eaten there, canceled reservations at other places, and eaten there twice. Cool. Because it's, you know, first of all, it's nice to leave Magic Kingdom, get on the monorail, go around, and you know, kind of. We've toured every resort. Usually, I mean, our favorite resort to stay at is probably just I like to stay at Coronado Springs, but usually it's always booked or more expensive. So we stay at Riverside a lot. Okay. But
we're staying degree. My dad's in the military, so we got, you know, that's perfect. We can just walk right to the Polynesian and have access to everything, and it's really cheap.
Yeah, that's awesome. The Shades of Green is a really nice place.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we've been there. That's where we stay, so we're fortunate for that. So
I have a couple of military buddies who have stayed there a couple of times. I was in the military for 6 years, so I have some friends that stayed in, and I get to go and occasionally. I've seen that.
I will be for the channel doing a sort of Disney beer video that I'll put together. So anytime I stop, because they now have more options for beer at Disney, where they used to not really have anything besides outside of Epcot. I'm going to put together something.
I might let him edit it. And see
I'm going to edit it and see what we do. So I'm going to try to do something like, and I have another channel personal for my family that I'll do a whole series for, but I don't promote that. So anyway, that's cool to know. All right.
Well, the beers around the world at Epcot is a thing. It is a serious thing.
I got 3 kids. I don't know if I won't make it around the world. That's the problem.
Well, all my kids, my daughter turned 21 this year. So they are all so excited to get back to Disney and finally partake in the stupidity that is drinking around the world.
That's
and my wife,
I want to see that love.
My wife is not a big fan of drinking at all, so she will be the designated "you're acting like a moron." So she'll be the one who cuts somebody off, I'm sure.
That's hilarious.
Well, I had to ask you because when you talked about painting the pink beetle, that stuck out to me. I think that's just such a cool thing that you did with your daughter. We were in your neck of the woods last weekend. I took my little one, my wife and I, to Hershey Park for her birthday. And all she got her breakfast was Santa. She loved it. Actually, Mrs. Claus was there too.
Very nice.
It's beautiful. But anyway,
you did that last weekend.
Last weekend we were up there. It was really
Michael T. Panetta, I think, did breakfast with his family at the same place you're talking about on Saturday.
Hotel Hershey. It was fantastic. I mean, it was.
He might have been there when you were there.
That's funny. Was he vlogging? Did he put that up already?
It was actually funny. The guy in front.
He wasn't actually vlogging though.
Okay.
The guy in front of us, the kids were writing letters to Santa, and the zip code was the same as our old 210 here. So
that's our zip code, Michael. By the way,
21090.
We just spell out 10. It's 21090. That's where we live. So that's where that comes from.
Oh. Well, that's pretty cool.
Clever, huh? And then, anyway, the person was from Linthicum too, from 210. So I was like, how about that? So we found out he lives 2 blocks over from me.
Did
so
you
we
tell him
started
about our YouTube channel?
I always promote it. but anyway, bring it all back. She asked for her birthday for a guitar because I play guitar, and
she's 6 years.
She's 6 years old. So I went to to Guitar Center to see if I could find one of the starter guitars. And let me tell you something, these suckers for these little guitars are crazy expensive. They're not good. And this guy in the corner was like, hey, there's this old beat up one here that you know, no one knows really much about, that some lady dropped off. And she said, we'll sell it to you for $30. And it fit my daughter, and she had no clue what I was going to do. I was like, do you like this? She's like, oh, I don't know. I really want a pink one, Daddy. So I took it home, sanded it down. I spray painted it pink. I put rhinestones around the fret holes. I had inlays going up the fretboard. It's really cool. Gave it to her. It looks just like a brand new guitar. It was really, really neat. And it just turned out to be one of those really special kind of cool moments. So the fact that you did that with your daughter, I think those are stories they'll remember forever, which is really, really neat. So I just figured I'd throw that out there. It just reminded me that it stuck with me. But very cool story.
That is awesome. Yeah, it took us. I think we got the car, you know, before she got a permit and started getting it ready. And, you know, you have to wait 6 months to get your license after you get your permit. And I think the car was ready just about the same time as she got her license. So it took us a good 6 months, and we were in that garage sanding and for 6 months. So I think at the time she was ready to be done with it, and so was I. But holy mackerel, the memories and the goofy stuff that happened while we were doing it was crazy.
No,
I think the video's called $10,000 paint job on a $3,000 car is what the actual video is called.
That's hilarious.
And that's about right. That's how much it would have easily cost us, well over $10,000 to get somebody to professionally do that paint job. So it was pretty awesome.
But that's cool. I think you can't put a price tag on the memories that you make with doing something like that. So,
Michael,
that's really
one
cool.
thing I want to ask you, and well, first of all, we're done our beer because we're splitting beers. You don't have to rush into it, but I think we might open up this one next if you want. But you don't have. This is a huge beer, so don't feel like you have to open it with us. I want to really ask you about, you know, we talk about where you are with your vlogging channel and, you know, your best hour of my day. Again, anybody who doesn't know Michael out there, please make sure the links in our below here. Check him out. You want to be involved. He's a great collaborator and creator. But you've now branched off a second channel. Talk to us a little bit about that and why you're doing that, because I think that's interesting.
Well, one of the things that I loved the most about the best hour of my day was how we got together as a community and talked about all the different aspects of growing a YouTube channel. And anytime I didn't know something, I could ask a question of the folks in the chat group, and they would help me out. Anytime that I knew something, I always wanted to pass it on. And there came a point about 10 months into daily vlogging where I kind of got to the point where I'm like, okay, so I'm growing nicely, but I don't have any idea why. I didn't up to that point do anything but film, edit, release, and rinse and repeat every single day. I didn't have time to really do anything other than that. So I went on a trip in November down to Tennessee, and we went to Lexington and Nashville. And when I got back from that trip, I decided I was going to slow down my process, try to improve my editing skills, but also learn a little bit about the analytics. And once I got deeply enthralled in the analytics, I thought, you know, there's a lot of stuff that we talk about on the best hour of my day, and there's so much stuff that you hear people talk about in chat rooms if you go to Pusa Studios and other places, and they're just misinformed. They're just working off of rumors. And I decided to, you know, do the best that I could to test out some things and work around all of the analytics and put it out there as the way that it really is, instead of the way that people continue to kind of go around the horn. Now, YouTube's constantly evolving, and so, you know, what's true today might not be true tomorrow. But the main focus was I wanted the best hour off of my vlogging channel because they serve two different masters, really. My vlog is meant for general consumption, or what I like to call YouTube consumers. people who don't necessarily do YouTube, or they do YouTube as a hobby and they're just having fun with it. And that's what I want my vlog to be. I don't want my vlog to be meta. In other words, I don't want to talk about YouTube. I want to talk about life and living and travel and inspiration. And I felt like the best hour was more about YouTube growth and YouTube help. And the best hour is definitely not for YouTube consumers. The best hour is for YouTube creators. It's a place where YouTubers can go to meet other YouTubers, and get to know them one-on-one in person, so that when they have a bad day, you know, those people in the best hour of my day are standing behind them to help them, to keep them up, to keep them going. Because YouTube's a tough gig. But the two didn't mix. So I said, well, okay, so if I'm going to move the best hour onto a different channel, then I want to also do content that helps those same people, those same YouTubers, to grow and, you know, learn more, or maybe even make a buck or two on YouTube. And so I don't, you know, I'm not getting rich off of YouTube, but I make some money on YouTube. And I know a lot of people who make some money here and there. And I think, especially when you're a small channel, the all of the above approach is the way to go. So, you know, I make a couple of bucks on doing Amazon reviews, and I make a couple of bucks on affiliates, and I make some money through donations on my stream, and I make some money doing stock footage. And, you know, all the while I'm continuing to grow my channel and getting, you know, sponsors and that sort of thing is the ultimate goal. So it's an all of the above approach. And I thought, well, I know a lot of people who use this approach or that approach. It would be really nice to interview those people, put them on there, and let them tell their stories and how they're growing their channel, so that, you know, between that and information on what the analytics mean, and maybe how to, you know, how to promote your content, I thought, well, this could be really helpful. So that's just what kind of grew up out of the want to move the best hour onto a channel that's more appropriate for the type of content that it is. It's for YouTubers. And the vlog really is for consumers. So that's kind of where that came from.
I think that's cool too, because I think, you know, we're realizing that the more we learn in this YouTube world, the less we know.
Yeah.
And it's just because it seems like, yeah, we understand this, and then all of a sudden, like, we have no clue as to the YouTube universe. So we've also realized the importance of how collaboration is the only way for us so far to just be successful in just growth.
Yeah.
But just the reach out and the camaraderie and the people that you meet and the things that you learn. Anyone trying to just fly on this ride by themselves is not going to make it. It's just not going to happen. So it's been really neat learning and it's continuing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say one of the things we realized really quickly, Mike, within our niche, I mean, we were not growing very quick. I mean, we weren't being as successful as we wanted to, and it got to the point where, like, well, we need to branch out and expose ourselves to other people, because YouTube's not pushing us out to other people. And that's kind of how, you know, finding creators like you that help us then find other creators that aren't our niche but still enjoy our content, and likewise we enjoy theirs. I think that was really cool. But your new channel, that was also going to have that, but also, you know, tips and tools to help you even better your channel, correct? I mean, it really is going to get into the nitty gritty about how to really grow your channel and how to improve your channel, correct?
Absolutely. So you talked about how YouTube is not getting your stuff out there. The video that I did last Thursday is all about demystifying the YouTube beta analytics, and what they basically explain is, okay, if you do this and this and this, YouTube will love your content. Mm-hmm. And so it breaks down, you know, it breaks down the analytics and how to read them and what you're looking for. So to be more specific, if you're getting views that are 90% in the subscriber category and maybe less than 20% in the non-subscriber category, you know, it's a sure sign that your content is not reaching a wider audience. And the things that you can do to correct that, you know, are right in the analytics. You know, if your click-through rate is high and your video is getting watched, your average view duration is more than 60% with non-subscribers, not subscribers, but with non-subscribers, YouTube will share your content.
Mike, let me ask you this. I ask this question a lot. Maybe there's not really an answer. What is a good click-through rate, though?
That that's actually in the video.
Oh, so there you go.
Here's,
Go to Michael's video, go to that video and watch it. Sorry about that.
A good click-through rate is 5% better than whatever you're getting now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it varies wildly from genre to genre.
Okay.
So the best thing that you can do is take a look at your click-through rate, and click-through rate is completely driven by your title and your thumbnail.
Right.
So if you want to get 5% better on your click-through rate, create a better title or a better thumbnail. And this, honestly, is where I struggle horribly.
I was going to say, the amount of time we spend on the phone when we're talking about, like, well, what should we name this, and what should this be called?
We also use tools. I mean, we use
we
use all this, you know, the search tools to figure out.
It's so hit and miss with some of these things, because we're like, what if this were just phrased differently or worded differently, and just, you're always kind of looking for that next start that's going to stick, and so you try and be as creative as you can, and then how's the picture going to draw people in, or is it going to detract? And you know, when you do your thumb, these are things we never thought about when we first started.
No.
I mean, just didn't think about it at all. So again, it's that.
Me either. Hey, this picture looks nice. It's in my video. Boom, there's my thumbnail.
But, you know, Mike, just to give you a point, we just our month last month was the best month we've ever had in our channel, and the reason why that was is we got a hold of these very sought after beers ahead of time. So I had a contact that got us beers early before they were released on Black Friday. We got it together and reviewed all these huge beers and edited them and got them up before anybody else and did it correctly. And boom, 60,000, 60,000 watch time minutes later, we're now past the threshold. I mean, it was crazy.
It was actually nuts. It was like a roller coaster, because Todd calls me and says, I got this hookup and we're gonna have these. And then we're like, okay, well, let's review this one. And then all of a sudden, this is where that creative just started bouncing. Let's break it up into 6. We'll do one where's the best of, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison that people have done with 17 and 18. And then it's like, let's do, and we're on the spot. I mean, this is literally, you know, right the day before Thanksgiving. Let's do this funny intro. I mean, that's what we did, the whole, like, you know, the Orange You Glad, we did Bourbon County, all these crazy things, and it worked. I mean, this is the first time that everything just kind of.
But our analytics, our analytics are, I mean, 80% of the views are non-subscribers for those videos. So that's. But it was.
So you did it right on that.
You did it right on that. That's the first time.
Both of us. It was a combination of the right product, right time, hot market for it.
Yep. Search was.
But they weren't garbage reviews. Like, we've looked at some reviews online, and it was
just beer.
They're not great. Yeah. You know, so we were like, can we still put the 21090 stamp on? Can we still do something a little bit outside of the box and fun? And it blew up.
It was a fun. It's a, you know how it is when you get that one sort of gratifying, all that work you do, and sometimes you get no views, and then you have that one time you're always searching. And this was by no means a huge video, but for us it was big.
For us it was big.
And
it's huge. It's so awesome.
You know.
Hey, I mean, a little bit of context. The most views I have on any one video on my channel is probably 3,000. Yeah. So, you know, and 60,000 is huge.
60,000 watch time minutes, not views. So.
Oh, okay.
But that's where we are. That blew us away, because we
don't do live streaming.
Each one of the 6 hit 1,000 within a couple of days, and then a couple are over 2 grand. And so that was we usually don't get that either. So for us, a big one is 500 to 1,000 clicks.
That's big for us.
And this within a week, like, we're seeing, like, my God, there's
2,500. Yeah,
there's 2,500 on this one, 1,200 on this one. There's 1,100 here. This one's going to hit 1,000 next week. I mean, it's just it blew up. So
for us.
That's just awesome. Well, that's exciting for you guys too.
Yes, I am going to brag. We wanted at least. I mean, we may look back and say maybe that wasn't the big breakup, but for us, this is what we've been hoping for, something like that. You know?
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's really cool to see.
That's incredible. You know, one of the videos that I am planning to do later is offer a bunch, and you guys did it perfectly. You found something that you knew people were going to be interested in. You got a hold of it beforehand, and you did it. Tech vloggers do this all the time. But I'm going to do a video that talks about how you can kind of get ahead of trends in whatever genre you happen to be in. There are some tips and suggestions. And of course, seasonal is the easiest way to go. If you're just a regular vlogger, heck, if you just start doing seasonal stuff before everybody else, well, once people get in the mood, that stuff's already there. And that's just one example. So I'm definitely gonna in the future do a video on, you know, how to kind of find those things that you know right now are going to be heavily searched for in 3 weeks.
I mean, for us though, and that's a good point. I mean, maybe this is to what your video is being about. For us, it's about planning. We've gotten to the point where we have to have like almost daily meetings about, okay, what do we want to do this a month from now, 2 months from now? What's it look like in our niche? What's going to be hot? What do we think would be a good video, or would get us some traction? And so before, we weren't doing that. We were like, oh, let's brew a beer. Oh, let's review this. There was no sort of strategy behind what we were doing. And we've kind of understood from watching, content like what you're trying to put out now and other YouTubers, you got to really have a strategy to get ahead of the curve. And I guess that's probably where you're going with what you're going to put out.
Exactly. Like, well, the perfect example would be if you ever do any movie reviews or anything on your channel, it's pretty freaking simple and easy to know when videos are going to come out. If you're somewhat savvy, you can actually get review copies of those things, and there you go. You've got yourself, and that stuff's not hard to get. And that's just another example of how you can plan your content. I got to admit, you guys are so lucky because you have two people working at the same goal. As one guy, it is almost nearly impossible to create a Twitter strategy and an Instagram strategy and a Facebook strategy and then create content
that's edit the content.
Scheduled 3 or 4 months out. Yeah, it's tough. So I'm envious.
Yeah, we divide and conquer. Andy does a lot of the creative editing. I then do more of the sort of outreach and marketing behind, where we are. If you see a comment, it's probably me. Andy does hop on, but it's mainly me that are on the vlogs trying to, do outreach and really, create collaborations with other users.
Yeah, and I mean it works because the videos. It's funny. The more experience I'm getting now with editing, you would think it would expedite things. It doesn't always work that way because you learn more, and so you want to change more, and you want to do things better, and so you're fine. So my goal is to always do one thing I hadn't tried before and add that in. And so, like even now, we do simple beer reviews. We're doing multi-camera angle views, and we're panning and zooming and doing all these things. And so what would have taken a little while a few months ago is back to taking the same amount of time. And so we've got this backlog of videos which is cool, but even with two, man, I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's so yeah, one-man show probably hard, but
yeah, no doubt. I just want to anybody again who's drinking something out there in the chat, tweet it out. 21090 hashtag what you're drinking. I want to see a picture. Yeah, what
you do. It's got the Golden Monkey or the Flying Fish. Both good things I'm going to try. We've got the meat Stone Yards. Find your corkscrew, dude, because that sounds good.
Rob 93 is in it.
Rob's there. What's up, Rob?
Hey man, I saw your tweet today about the beers you had. You had Sculpin. You can't go wrong with Sculpin.
Ooh, no, that's good stuff.
I hope you're enjoying those beers, man. Tweet something out and put hashtag 21090. We want to see what you're drinking. Hopefully you know who Michael Feyrer is. If not, you got to hook up with him. Links below. He's an amazing creator.
We're going in on this. We're using the same glass though, because it's what I have.
That's what we're doing. Hey, it doesn't matter. Same thing. No worries. This is a New England style IPA, Michael.
This is really good.
I don't know if you like those. These are real juicy and sort of murky.
It has like almost a citrus smell to it.
Yeah. There you go. That's exactly what it should be.
A little change of pace from the pumpkin ale, but it's,
I don't know
good stuff.
Do you know where Ocean City, Maryland is?
I do.
This is right
Been there many times.
Yeah, right outside Ocean City, Maryland. In Berlin.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, or for you guys, I was in the military for 6 years, and I worked in the Washington Naval Yard for 2.5 years.
Okay.
Which is right. So I lived in Alexandria, Virginia, and I was a huge Baltimore Orioles fan. So I would go because you could get bleacher seats for $6.
You're probably talking about. Are you talking about Memorial Stadium or back in the
Camden Yards? This was right after Camden Yards had opened.
Okay.
So for a couple of years, I was going to 3 or 4 games a week. I mean, I was on military hours. I could get away with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was going to Ann Arbor and down to the Orioles games all the time during baseball season, and of course during hockey season. I was at you could go see the Caps for $20.
Not anymore.
So I was there practically every night. You can't do that now, and you certainly can't do that in Philly. But I used to love that. Camden Yards is awesome. I'm a huge fan of downtown Baltimore.
Well, it's still the best. I think it's still the best stadium into a bunch of stadiums. PNC is beautiful, and Pittsburgh is also gorgeous.
Well, Pittsburgh is amazing.
Yeah. You know what? We
love Pittsburgh.
We go every year. We go to the Ravens.
We're Ravens fans. You know that.
We
oh yeah.
Purple, and you know what? My condolences to Joe Flacco. It looks like he lost his starting job today.
Thankfully.
He gives us a lot of good.
Yeah, whatever.
See how quickly people forget other people.
You know. I know.
I mean, just a sidebar: 6 playoff appearances, 3 AFC championships, and 1 Super Bowl, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, good for you know what? I tell you,
thanks, Joe. Let's go."
He's the Alex Smith, you know. What are you gonna do?
Well, hey, if you like DC, he may be playing for the Skins next year.
Mike, you're an Eagles fan, right, Mike? You're a big Philly guy.
Oh yeah, I'm an Eagles fan. We finally got one, so now I just have to suck it up because we're gonna stink for a while.
In Philly, the night of the parade, and it was about as crazy I've seen a place. I parked in some random garage. I was pretty sure I was never going to see a car again because all the hotel lots were full. They started playing Rocky, Eye of the Tiger, literally at like 3 in the morning. It didn't stop the day before the parade. So it was just absolutely craziness. But you know. Good on you, Philly. That was.
Now, are you guys going to make it to the YouTuber collaborator meetup that's going to be in Baltimore?
Yes.
Over the first weekend of March.
We have to. I just told him about it before he walked in. I mean, you guys just announced that it was Baltimore today on Jay Littman's live stream, so we certainly want to be a part of that. So yes.
I certainly hope that you do what's going. I know Jay's going. I'm pretty sure Monica and I will be going. That's actually over our anniversary weekend, and sometimes that interferes with my daughter's championship meet. But she loves Baltimore as much as I do. So if it doesn't interfere with my daughter's championship meet, Monica and I will be celebrating our anniversary there. But I just want to let everyone know, and I talked about this a little bit on my stream. I went down to visit Jay Littman in Inner Harbor yesterday. If you are coming into that meetup, guys, if Google decides to route you around traffic, just say no and sit in the traffic for the extra hour, okay? I promise you, your life will thank you. I drove through about 5 miles of
West Baltimore,
basically burned out houses and completely boarded up. I was, you know, I was like, man, this is probably not. Google should know better. So that was I haven't seen anything like that since I was in. I was in New Orleans not long after Hurricane Katrina, where you have just neighborhoods upon neighborhoods upon neighborhoods that are totally empty. And that's what that was like. I couldn't believe that. Yeah. I'm still waiting for the developer to come and knock all of that down and build high-rise condos.
You would hope. But, well, there's a lot of problems. Once you get in the harbor, you're fine, but you're right about
Hug the water.
Hug the water.
That's what we tell you. Hug the water. You're
very much. Take that to heart, guys. If Google reroutes you, just say no. The traffic is fine. You're gonna love it.
Or just be grateful.
I want to give a shout out to Short Circuit Brewers, who's come on our stream. Hey, I saw you. He's got his brewery. Michael, this is a guy who's got a awesome brew channel. He's got close to 10. I think he's got over 10,000 subscribers. He's an electric brewer. He like builds a brewery in his basement. He had one. He moved his house. Now he's building from scratch his own self a brewery, a legit brewery with everything in it. And how you doing, Brian? I saw your last video where the drywall's going up and it's taking shape. And you've done some brews. I can't wait to see it finish.
He's a brilliant man.
Some
people just have those minds, and you can just talking to him, you just know he's just. You want to jump in there and be like, man, I wish I could.
So cheers to you.
Good to see you,
Brian.
Man.
Good to see you.
Man with a plan.
Talking about the creator meetup, Michael. What I know you guys just did that in Niagara. I loved watching all the vlogs. I know Jay did it, and Michael T. Panetta, and you, and God, I'm leaving a lot of people out that actually.
You do it. Susan's Creative needs more subs. Alejandro Perez. Oh man. Real quick, Chris was there. Budget Bushcraft was there. I haven't seen Budget in a couple of days, but yeah, it was incredible. You know, the funny thing is, there were 2 people there that I hadn't met before. That's how much I travel. And Susan's Creative had actually come down from Canada to meet me on a previous occasion.
Wow.
But
I don't know what we would do because we're a beer channel, but we could figure something out. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're not
Well,
like
I've been planning to come down and meet you guys for a long time,
we
and
want
I'm
to
telling you, after the experience of going down to meet Jay, yesterday, it was, you know, it's 4 hours travel from here, and then we spent maybe I don't know, I was there from about, I was actually physically in Baltimore from around 9 to about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then the 4 hour drive back. I'm not doing that again unless I'm staying over. So
I don't blame you. How far are you from Hershey?
uh about an hour and a half.
All right, so that's what we do. We meet in Hershey and we go to
Yes.
Trogs. We go to Trogs Brewing. We have the best hour of the day from Trogs, and then we can do our beer thing there.
That'd be awesome.
That's what
Hey,
we do.
that sounds incredible. That sounds incredible. And Michael T's right in Hershey as well. So is Skinny G Panda and Dragon Roams.
Wow.
The number of people in this area is mind-boggling. In fact, Fantastic Joe is 20 minutes from there in Harrisburg. So is Cody Warner. So there are so many in this area. It's really cool. Inspired John lives 10 minutes from me. So
Yeah,
we're kind of very lucky that we live in such a YouTube rich area.
That's cool.
Do you know Cody? Did you meet Cody?
Oh yeah, I have a collection of videos that I did with Cody. In fact, I was his first ever interview. I had him on a show back in the day. I did a show called Up and Coming Tubers, where I would just talk to YouTubers who were just kind of in a different group than what I was in and doing cool stuff. And it was right after he created the No Small Creator movement, and he had just gotten a video that was recognized by Peter McKinnon. This was before he had met Peter McKinnon. And then the second collaboration that I did with Cody was actually about 3 days after he met with Peter McKinnon.
Wow.
So yeah, and that was a long time coming. I knew Cody. I had about 300 subscribers at the time. I think he might have had right around 800 subscribers when we first kind of got communicated with each other. And now he's so busy, he's hard to get a hold of. But he's an awesome dude.
Like a really cool dude. I know he lives in Harrisburg, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, seems like
And he loves beer. So I can tell you, you know, you never know if you pitch something, he might visit with you. I'm sure he'd love to do it. So
yeah,
he is a beer drinker.
Definitely.
He loves his coffee and his beer.
Yes, sounds like.
In fact, when we went to when we did our collaboration, I was supposed to drive the supercar that day. That was the whole thing. He was going to come down. He was going to be my cameraman, which Michael T ended up doing when I had it rescheduled. But when he got there, of course, it was rained out and we couldn't do it. So we went to a microbrewer that was right in the parking lot, in like this old hangar, you know, right next to the track. And we just drank beer and had fun and filmed a quick video. It was a good time. It was pouring so badly that day. It was horrible, but we had a good time.
I want to just stop for a second because I see in our chat a beer guy, Short Circuit Brewer Brian. You actually know Cody and follow Peter McKinnon. That shows you the scope of those bloggers because, again, we're beer guys. And here it is, Brian. I wouldn't have thought, Brian, you follow Peter McKinnon and Cody Warner. That's cool. We do too. I mean, they make great content. How can you not like it, right? That's funny.
Yeah. It's really difficult not to be a Peter McKinnon fan.
Yeah,
there's just something kind of infectious about his personality. And then when you throw in there the cinematography of what he does, it's I mean, it's something I think everyone who actually goes kind of maybe not do the same thing, but have that sort of just amazing aesthetic to how you can make the beer glass just look just like that. You know, I don't know how he does it, but it's amazing.
But do you I mean, do you like Casey Neistat too? I mean, are you,
oh yeah, he's Casey Neistat is really the impetus to make me decide to try vlogging. Before I got laid off, I was watching all kinds of Casey Neistat. I'm like, you know, I could do that, which everybody thinks they can do that, but because he makes it look so easy.
So easy.
And so when I first started, because Casey would say things like, don't let the quality get in the way of just clicking that upload button, you know? And I thought, okay, well, if I do this long enough, I'm going to eventually figure something out and get good. And who knows, I may accidentally get a video that takes off in the process. So that's kind of the process that I followed from the very day one. And it's nowhere near Casey Neistat quality, but I was having fun with it.
No doubt. And Michael, you'll be happy to know that Kay from Happy Trails Hiking has finally joined us. And I know you're a big fan of hers as well. So
I do. I love my Happy Trails hiking.
Good
If you guys haven't met Kay and Matt, I would highly recommend it. I would highly recommend it. And she wants to help everybody work off all the calories from this. So
that is true. We need that help.
She'll be busy around the New Year's when we all decide for 30 days that we're going to get back.
So anybody out there that does not know who Happy Trails Hiking,
they're awesome.
They're two great, Matt and Kay. They do great hiking videos from across the country. They also do, Kay does a daily live vlog, different times, either 10 or 5. Is that right, Michael? I don't know what.
It's just weekdays. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, it's at 11 a.m. directly after mine. And of course, that's Eastern Standard Time, the only legitimate time zone.
There you go.
And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe it's at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm always editing then, so I haven't been able to make an evening one.
I got kids, but I know she does it every day, and she's got great tips on health, and we need to probably be involved in that more, Andy. Maybe
Well,
we should take
I can tell you, just they were so awesome when they came over.
They were. Plus, they do Thirsty.
Yeah.
They love beer too.
Yeah.
Matt, home brews. I think they're bringing back Thirsty Thursdays. I think Kay said that.
Just good people. You know, again,
I know Matt really wants to do Thirsty Thursdays.
He needs to. I love them, man. He's really knowledgeable, and he's a good.
He's
brewer.
a big '80s rock guy.
Yeah, we love
right
80s
up
rock.
my alley. I love it. It's
Hold
fantastic.
on, Michael. Do you know Hammerjacks?
I do not know Hammerjacks, actually.
You're not a big '80s rock guy, then. Never mind. That's from in
Well, I'm a
Baltimore.
big '80s rock guy. Well, an '80s metal guy.
Yeah, this was
But
like
so it more leans towards Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, Testament, that sort of stuff.
We like that too.
We've seen it. We've seen it a few
I've
times.
seen Megadeth.
We're one notch down. We like them more looking like women with leather pants and hairspray and stuff like that.
Definitely Motley Crue and Rat and.
Boy, like I said, we've got our Def Leppard beer right here. As we,
I love that. I love that, and that's back in the '80s when they were actually good.
Oh!
Right before they accidentally released "Pour Some Sugar on Me" and made me want to freaking eat a bullet. Hey, this is awesome, by the way.
We're having some technical difficulties. I think we're going to have to stop the video right here. And what happened?
Michael?
It was like having Mike on. He's a nice guy. Go check out his channel.
But I don't think we'll ever hear from him again. No. I see, because he's a big number.
There are only a few songs I'm that opinionated on. That happens to be one of them. Sweet Home Alabama. I remember once I was in a club with a group of friends that we had met, and the band started playing Sweet Home Alabama. And of course, they're all younger than us because Monica and I hang out with lots of folks that are a lot younger than us. And she's like, "Don't you guys want to dance to this?" And I said, "Look, I can't. This song really, I just can't do it." And she says, "Well, that's just because you're so old and you've heard it a lot more times."
You're a big metal guy then. So if you like metal, I can see what I would say after Pour Some Sugar on Me, because back in the late '70s, early '80s.
So first of all, my brother's on, and he said Michael just made a big mistake. So he came on here and did the one thing you don't do. You don't trash Def Leppard. It's our only rule, Mike. It's like,
hey, I'm telling you right now that I think that Pyromania might be as close to a perfect album as you can get.
There you go.
They should have they should have quit while they were ahead. There
you go.
Well,
when you start singing songs basically made for the ladies.
Come on, Hysteria is an amazing album. We're gonna have to argue.
We're gonna have to send him to our video. and now I'm thinking of those 25 million albums sold. They couldn't all be ladies. But then again, if I'm a rock star, I probably want to play the ladies anyway. I'm not playing for you, Mike.
Hey, I'm just saying from my perspective. They put it this way: that stuff definitely wasn't getting played for me.
Well, I'll tell you though, we did the video at Oliver Brewing Company in Baltimore, and the guy Steve, who was the head brewer there, his first concert, he saw Def Leppard open up for AC/DC on the Highway to Hell tour
back in the
70s. Before they opened, before they released On Through the Night. Right, they had released the Get Your Rocks Off. As the first single before they did Wasted and Hello America. And then, so those first 3 albums are killer too. I love them too. But see, I'm totally biased. I like them straight through.
He is biased.
I'm incredibly biased.
Mike, you like this beer? Get back to beer talk.
You know, I really do. My favorite beer, the beer of choice, what I always drink is Blue Moon, actually.
Oh.
So I do like a fruity beer.
Okay.
So
this is fruity in a different way. So it's not gonna have the weed. It's gonna have more of those hops at the late edition. So
definitely. Well, pretty much the stuff that you sent me is either IPA or that, so it's definitely hoppy.
Definitely.
Someone making fun of me now for my Def Leppard take.
My brother also a love supporter. He's like, good job changing the subject there, Todd.
I'm just trying to,
he's getting worried. He's like, Big Brother's gonna get feisty, sticking up for Def Leppard. It's okay. No hard feelings, Mike. It's okay.
I love me some Def Leppard. Just bring Pyromania. We're good.
Well, now I will say this: they did Viva Hysteria on at Las Vegas a couple years ago. I'll stop after this, I promise.
Okay.
And so that was in honor of the 30th anniversary of Hysteria. Now the next thing they want to do is they're going to do Pyromania start to finish at the Hard Rock in Vegas. I think they said within the next couple of years.
Yep.
I will go out for that. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite ever rock show. And I really thought this would end up having been Slayer's last tour, which, as we know now, there's been 3 or 4 more since then, and now they're supposedly on their last tour. But there was a period of I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years where I saw them somewhere in the realm of 15 to 16 times. They seem to love the East Coast, and they come to Philly all the time. So between a 2-year period, I must have seen them at least 15 times between arena shows and small club shows that they would do in Philadelphia. And I got to see them do a show where they played Rain and Blood from beginning to end in order. And I'm like, I'm not sure it gets any better than this.
I have never guessed you for a metalhead. That's amazing. Raise your hand if you thought Michael Feyrer Jr. was a metalhead.
It's funny though, because I mean, I can dive into that, but I want the chorus to kick with it. We saw Megadeth at the Big Four going back out on tour, from what I understand too, Michael. They're going back out on tour.
No. We saw Megadeth at Ozfest.
We saw them in Virginia. We
Ozfest.
saw them in DC. What's that club in DC? We were scared to get out. 930 Club. We saw them out there.
930 Club.
They put out a beer.
Was that in the parking lot of the stadium?
It might be now. Yeah.
One of my favorite shows that I ever saw as a kid was in the parking lot of.
Oh, that RFK. Uh-oh.
Did we lose you?
We lost Michael. Well, it's just us now. I don't know what happened, Michael.
Jump back on.
Did you do something about Def Leppard? That's what it was, right?
He must have upset me to the point where
you upset him on Def Leppard. So. I want to. Jay Littman said Hammerjacks. They're bringing it back. Yes, they are. I guess
they've been saying that for like 5 years, though, Jay.
I don't know what happened.
I'm hoping they bring it back.
And we got. I just want to give a roll call while hopefully Michael comes back. Virginia Fisherman's in the house. Great channel. I love, because I kind of fish a little. I suck, but I like fishing. Great channel. Thanks for joining us. Beaded Beerman, in a little bit, if you're still on, we'd love to try to maybe bring you on after Michael and try these. What do you think? No?
Yeah, I would love to. That rye's got my name on, brother. If you're still on there,
we're gonna try to get Michael.
Let us know if you're still on.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get Michael back to at least give him a proper send off. But I don't know what happened there. Hopefully, it wasn't our end. Can everybody still see us? Everybody see us? All right.
Yeah, we got people with us. We're okay.
Right. We're still good.
There's 17 viewers there. I think we're doing
okay. Drop by. Yeah, I think Andy did that, really. I totally think he did. So, that being said, we do have a backup plan. Not a backup plan, but we wanted to get. Sorry, Michael. Love bites. Tony, you still at the brewery?
Tony, jump on if you want.
If you're in the brewery, jump on. Cook the thing. If you're still at that brewery, I call him our Instagram brewery reporter, because he travels for work a lot in different cities. And when he's there, he takes pictures. So when you see 21090s in like Minnesota, it's not us. He's
our roving reporter.
And he's been on a few of our videos.
This time around Travelogue. So I want to jump on to the question. So what's with every brewer going all IPA, not so much dark beers?
Good question.
Clearly, I think things move in trends.
There's Michael.
Mike's back on. But I think things move in trends. But I will say, for me lately, man, I tell you, I have had nothing but porters and stouts in my fridge. It has been. I think winter brings it out in you too.
Yes.
I think it's beer can be very seasonal.
more booze, sort of more sort of.
You have a little backbone to your beer, and the IPAs are so hop forward. I mean, technically you can drink them any time, but you know, your wheats you have in the spring and the summer and stuff like that, and I guess you can have your.
But to a point, going all IPA, they're really going this New England IPA. This sort of juicy, hazy.
They've got the milkshake IPAs popping now. Tony was telling me he just had a great brute stuff in the brewery. So there's all kinds of stuff, but
Michael, you're back. We didn't kick you off. See?
People I thought I kicked you off. I just tossed you.
No, you know what happened?
What happened?
I didn't have the actual camera plugged in, so we now know that about an hour and 15 minutes is how long these batteries work.
Good to know. Good to know. There you go. Plug it in. I think hopefully we got away from the Def Leppard battle.
No, we were on.
No, I was actually going to talk about my favorite show. One of my favorite shows when I was a kid, or one of the things that really kicked it off for me as a young adult, was there was a warehouse in the parking lot of the stadium over there. Now I don't remember if it was the baseball stadium. I don't think Baltimore actually had a football team at the time, so I think it was the baseball stadium.
Okay.
And I got to see Dream Theater on the tour for the album that they only really released in Europe, Dream and Day Unite. And I think that might be one of my favorite shows ever. There's just something special about seeing a band before anyone really knows who they are. Like I saw Guns N' Roses in a club with about 15 people.
That's awesome.
About a year, about a year after their first album, or about a year after Appetite for Destruction was released. Still nobody had any idea who they were.
That's amazing.
And that was a really cool show. And of course, a year after that, they're like the biggest band in the world. So that's kind of always cool to have experiences like that.
You know, funny story about, well, I think it was us who didn't know a band. You remember a band called Limp Bizkit, of course. You know Limp Bizkit, right? You know who Limp Bizkit is? Not that they're the biggest band ever, but this was probably 1999, 2000.
Ozfest, right?
Ozfest in Virginia. Yeah. I mean, we have Ozzy, Tool was on the bill, Megadeth. We're there to see them. We didn't even know who Limp Bizkit was at the time. Had no idea. And we're down in the orchestra, and they come on midday, and there's this huge toilet on the stage. Massive toilet. Okay, this is Limp Bizkit. And we don't know who the hell these guys are. And they go on, and the place goes nuts. We felt so out of it, I guess, because we had no idea who they were.
Yeah, I mean, they're rushing the stage.
And Fred Durst goes up to the lawn and says, "Everybody follow me!" And the entire lawn rushes the stage, and mass pandemonium ensues. And we're like, "What in the heck is going on?"
I wasn't even enjoying it. It was so funny because I remember I was like, "Here's where I'm feeling my age," because we're there to see Ozzy, and then Mustaine's playing.
We weren't that old then.
Doesn't matter. It still felt old because we had no idea.
We had no idea who they were.
And it was just so funny because Megadeth is on. We're up, we're standing, we're rocking out. We're like, these guys are sounding great.
Nobody wanted to
Tool comes on, and I'm like, I'm ready to go to sleep. Yeah. And everyone else is staying up. I'm like, am I missing something?
Am
I on the boat? So it was just, musical taste is what it is. But
I guess so.
It's funny.
Tool is very much an acquired taste, I would think.
They have to be.
They got some pretty unique stuff, but I can definitely see, like, because I'm a big Opeth fan, and most metalheads are like, "Oh God," they just put them to sleep, and I just tend to like kind of slower, more, I don't know, more dark, slow kind of content. So I really enjoy them, whereas a lot of my buddies who are, of course, big Slayer and Anthrax and Testament, and pretty much we've seen Lamb of God like 15 times. So
yeah.
You got some heavy stuff there. I saw Sepultura and Pantera, and I thought that was about as heavy as I got. That was and that was like and the backdrop alone, I was like, I don't know if this is my scene. I need to go back to my soccer mom rock and roll and pour some sugar on me. I felt more comfortable there.
I think you do. I think we all do. Short Circuit Brewers just said best drummer ever for Dream Theater. I think that's probably true, right? What's that guy? I don't know his name, but he is an amazing drummer.
Oh, Portnoy. Yeah. My brother actually, they graduated from the same school that he did, apparently, or something. So he kind of got to hang out with them a little bit. That guy's amazing. I wish he was still with them.
They are just. I mean, they're ridiculously good. But okay, so here's a funny thing too. If there's one song by them you don't like, I feel like I know your answer.
Really? You guys say "Pull Me Under"? Oh.
Is it Pull Me Under?
No, Pull Me Under's all right. There's definitely stuff.
A lot of people don't like the commercial success stuff.
Oh,
I see
okay.
it. I listen to that song, and to me, that's 8.5 minutes of just pure genius. I love it.
Yeah,
but
me
a
too.
lot of people, like, as soon as things get popular, it's like, and that commercial success kills bands. It's funny.
So this time around, Travelog said, look up Chronological
That's
Injustice, guys. Chronological Injustice. I don't know who that is.
So that's why we got to look
We
them
will
up.
look
We got to look them up.
Kelly
Yeah.
Kaufman, how are you? Very good to see you. David Singleton. I haven't probably gave a shout out to the people in the chat. We've had some people coming by. I really appreciate everybody jumping on.
How's your hazy IPA treating you, Mike? Is it good?
You know what? I love this. I could actually see ordering a case of this.
There you go. You got to go down there.
Probably something they make year round too, isn't it?
I'm
It's they just started putting it in cans. You know, Burley Oak is really small,
yeah.
so it's hard for us even in Baltimore to get it.
I work down there a lot. I'd be happy to pick some up and send it to you.
There you go. Look at
So
that.
I'll grab some. For
Even
you.
though he doesn't like Def Leppard.
Well, he's not getting any of my Def Leppard beer. That's for sure. 'Cause, this is not a Pyromania can. This is a Hysteria can. I know my album covers, so
That's true. It is good though. I love that.
yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
It's nice to know people who can brew pumpkin beer year round because it's like my favorite.
Okay, we can definitely do that for you. And he's got that spice mix. And that's a big thing with pumpkin beers. Is
I'll brew up another batch.
making sure you don't make it taste too overly sweet, or at least for us, we don't like it too much overly sweet. He's got it nailed. His spices that he uses.
Yeah, I like the pumpkin. The Southern Tier Pumpkin is pretty good.
Yeah.
There's another brewery in Maine that made something that I really, really enjoyed. I think it's Shipyard makes a really nice pumpkin ale that I absolutely loved.
We've got the headless horse.
I discovered that
on
one.
the cover, on the label.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got in the chat some metal talk still. I had no idea Brian from Short Circuit Brewers may be a metal fan, but he says, how about 12 Foot Ninja? I don't know if that's a band.
Yeah, 12 Foot. I like 12 Foot Ninja. They're pretty cool.
And this time around, Travelog said Heavy Screamo from Portland. I don't even know who that is.
No.
All right.
I have heard the name Heavy Screamo. I have not actually heard their music.
Man, metalheads.
Have you heard of the band?
I know Daniel was a metal fan, by the way, so that's pretty cool.
There you go.
So have you heard the band?
Do you guys know Daniel from this time around Travelog at all?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Do you guys know Daniel from this time around Travelog at all?
I know their channel. I didn't know his name was Daniel, but I've seen their videos. Yes.
Yeah, so they're from I think they're not in Seattle, but I know they're in Washington State, and he is actually in the process of launching a channel that's very similar to video content marketing, but it's going to be more focused on entrepreneurship and business in general. Now, he's had his own business forever. So if it's something that you guys are just interested in learning business from that perspective, I definitely recommend it. And Daniel's an awesome guy. He's a great guy to have
a
question about.
That's great. That's great. So, Michael, hopefully we're not getting you too inebriated that you can't make your 10 a.m. Call for the best hour of my day. I don't want to mess that up, but
no, this only just guarantees that there's not going to be any more work getting done tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then that's all on you then. What's coming up for you? What do we have? I don't want to lose sight of sort of why we have you on, because we really enjoy your channel, what you've done for us to help us expose to other people. What do you see? Where do you see yourself in 5 months, a year from now? What's the plan?
Excuse me.
Nope.
So the plan actually, oh, we're good. Okay, I thought you guys lost me again. Now the plan is to try to be. I would really like to grow towards 10,000 subscribers within a year from now. Okay. Now that I think I have the analytics of it figured out, if I have to start paying people to do my titling and my thumbnails, that might be what it takes. I'm just not very good at that. Sometimes from a business perspective, knowing what you're not very good at is smart as knowing what you are good at. So as long as the stuff in the background, like affiliate stuff and the donations and all that stuff, as long as that stuff keeps coming in and I can maybe hire some folks to do some of the other pieces of my business, I really hope to grow big in 2019. But you know, the thing is my focus of my best hour is always still going to be the community, because it's truly what I love. And you know, I've said it a bunch of times on the best hour. It's just like when you have less than 100 subscribers and you're making content all the time and you're just wondering who the people are that are watching you, and it can be the most frustrating and lonely thing ever. And I think the best hour of my day provides people who are just, you know, out there doing YouTube because they either love it and it's a hobby, or because they want to get better, a place to find other people who get it, who understand the struggle, and who can help them out and stand behind them, collaborate with them if possible, either in person or remote. I mean, I know you guys know that almost, I would say more than 60 or 70% of the people that frequent the best hour of my day are actually people that I've physically worked with in person or remotely. And the rest, you know, we communicate on Twitter on a regular basis. Yeah. And to me, it's really important because they're, you know, they truly are my family. And I don't think it really matters if I end up with 100 people on the best hour of my day. At some points over the summer, it grew to over 60 people on the broadcast every single day. And I still knew most of them. I still had spoken to almost half of them on the phone. And I'm really hoping that that's, no matter how big I grow, that's always a staple, because that's why Monica started getting involved. And that's what makes this fun for me. And I think that's why people come back too, because they know that.
No doubt.
You know, that's
your plan for your current channel, but what about for video? I mean, same kind of goals. I mean, I think that also has potential to really go fast too. Once people see the value in that.
Right. Well, video content marketing, I'm actually expecting to grow relatively fast, and that's of course the location where the best hour is going to move to, anyways.
That's true. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. You know, my opinion is that the more value that you can provide to people in any way, in authentic ways, because like tomorrow's video that's going to come out is a perfect example. I don't leave my affiliate links in there. I leave Jay's affiliate links in there. Jay helped me out to create a video that's going to help other YouTubers, and I think he deserves to get the benefits from that. And I think as long as you help other people to grow, I keep telling a lot of my closest friends that hang out on the best hour, eventually one of us is going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
And all of our content is so deeply embedded in one another that they can't help but drag the rest of us with them, because people are going to want to know who this person is and who that person is. And it's kind of like having your own little, you know, your own little tight-knit group. And I consider you guys to be a big part of that as well. When one of us explodes, they're going to drag the rest of us with it, because our content is so embedded in one another. I've been on Jay's channel 20 times. He probably mentions me 3 or 4 times a week. Michael T. Panetta and Susan's Creative and Inspired John. These folks talk about each other and the group and you guys all the time. Yeah. It's inevitable when somebody blows up, we're all going to go with them. And that's pretty exciting.
It is. You know, I don't know. I mean, you're involved with Pusa, right? I mean, you know who Pusa Studios is, right? Or no?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love Pusa.
And they're not blown up by any means, but you know, when we were on their show just over last summer, they had, I think, I don't know, 1,000 subscribers, and we had much less than that. Now they're almost at 5,000, you know, not even 6 months later, it seems like. So, you know, all these great content.
They're doing an absolutely amazing job.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really interesting. And for us, when we were looking at our niche is really small. I mean, home brewing itself, I mean, we've got Brian from Short Circuit Brewers. He's one of the, I mean, and he's got 10,000 subscribers and he does amazing stuff. He should have way more than that. And he's one of the bigger ones. And still, I don't know why he doesn't have more than 10,000, to tell you the truth. And he's been doing it for a long time. He knows so much about brewing.
But it is funny, because when you truly follow somebody, there's a real connection there too. So you know, we talk about that. So we may get 100. Let's say we get 100 followers this week. Of those 100, maybe 2 or 3 truly want to follow us and truly want to interact with us and truly want to engage too. There's so many people out there just like, hey, sub for me, I sub for you back, and this and that. We know they'll come. They're never going to come back again.
I don't like
So,
that. I know you're not there to. I know you don't like this. That's one of his big pet peeves.
Well,
I mean, he says that's
us
do
too,
not,
like,
you know, we can't do that.
We would rather just, we want that relationship to build,
Yep.
and that's how it starts to grow. Everything, it's like any type of sales business. It's a word of mouth. If you do a good job, people are going to start to somehow, some way, they're organically going to find you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the way. I mean, home brewing is maybe a small niche, but there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people who do it. So it's really not that small in the grand scheme. There's always people looking. If they connect with you,
correct,
they'll sign on.
Yeah.
There's almost
true.
nothing that isn't going to be a big niche. So
that's exactly right. And the truth is that the skills that you guys are learning through the promoting aspect of it and through figuring out what's kind of going to pop or whatever means that there's always that chance that, because you guys are entertaining and you're not just looking to do stuff about home brewing,
right?
Like you do the skits and you do the makeup and you'll have fun with it. And so you can never rule out the fact that if an opportunity came along for you guys to do something that wasn't necessarily in the home brewing niche, or you wanted to start a little channel that did one video a month, but you were going to work for 27 days to get that video ready, that couldn't just explode. So that, you know, every day we work to find opportunities that you just, you know, you can't even really imagine what you're going to see today, tomorrow.
Yeah, and Brian from
you would have never figured I'd be running 2 channels, and that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
one of our good friends, Brian from Short Circuit, he's got like 10,000 subscribers. He's actually niched down to electric brewing, and we've actually gone the opposite way, where we were home brewing, then we went to beer reviews, then we're doing beer tours. Now we're just like, we like to produce content that has beer-related stuff, home brewing.
Well, but
he's niched down. We've kind of gone out the other way.
You start to see things that you have to stay true to who you are and throw things in there. So it was funny. I mean, if you watch all of our videos, I mean, we're in some sort of 80s rock shirt. I usually have a LEP shirt on.
That's the Baltimore Skipjacks. Minor League
Hockey. An Expos cap usually. You know, Pusa loved that because we had, you know, being from Montreal, had the Tim Raines jersey on and all this stuff. But we always make reference. There's always those little 80s clips where we name the match. So we did the Hysteria review because, like, we loved it. And that video took how long to produce? Like maybe 2 months for me to get that done.
Forever.
With more copyright infringements than you could possibly shake.
That's a funny thing. I'm going to tell Michael, not to cut you off. I told you this the other day. We finally passed the threshold. So we were monetized. We got demonetized because of the new thresholds, and now we're finally met the threshold. We're still under review. They're reviewing it, but the 4 videos that we have up that have copyright claims on it all have ads on it. They all have ads. Real quick, right away.
I promise you will be monetized before I am.
That's crazy.
And I've met the threshold in August, so it is what it is.
How frustrating is that? Man, I know it's a small piece.
The frustrating part is not being monetized. The frustrating part is the fact that YouTube refuses to acknowledge our existence at all, and even just send a form email saying, sorry guys, we're a little understaffed or whatever. You know, there's just nothing. You don't hear anything.
Well, yeah, you're still doing it. It's not going to stop you though.
Nope. No, well, I'm still doing it. In fact, I'm considering the possibility of not monetizing at all, even when they offer it. The only thing I really want is that YouTube rep, the guy to talk to if somebody accuses me of doing something stupid on my channel, and tries to shut me down. You know, that's what you really want. YouTube's not going to make any revenue off of the couple of hundred views my videos generally tend to get, and I'm not going to make any ad revenue off it either. And I don't really care for the percent that they take from Super Chat. So I may just leave things the way they are. You know, I've got plenty of other avenues of revenue. I don't need them.
Yeah, people are saying, you know, you gotta enjoy what you're doing. That's the point, and you just don't stop. You know, you just keep going at it. And we really enjoy. Our biggest, we don't care about the money. I mean, it'll be great, but we don't have any merchandising yet. We don't have any Patreon. We don't have any of that yet. But what we get enjoyment out of is putting out content, and we get responses back, and we see the numbers go up. That's what I think we really love doing. That'll all come, you know, monetization, all that stuff, maybe later.
And checking in and seeing people who continually come back and support us on live streams and stuff like that. Because again, that makes it all worthwhile because these things are labor of love. I mean, you put time, blood, sweat, and tears into this. You know, my wife was ready to have my hide working on Thanksgiving on these Bourbon County Stout videos. And
we drank what 6 of these Bourbon County Stouts, and the night before Thanksgiving, we got done at 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife comes down and says, "What in the world are you still doing? You know, we're trying to do something special here." She doesn't understand that at 2 o'clock in the morning, the day before Thanksgiving. And then Andy had to go home to a crying baby who's not even 1 year old, and get ready for Thanksgiving and edit our videos. You know, so you know those troubles, Michael, as an editor and content creator, how that goes.
And they turned out, which is just,
they did.
I mean, that's it. It's just sometimes it hits, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, I see holy mackerel. Short-circuited Brewers mentions that he's not in it for the money, and it helps, but it's not the driving force. And I totally couldn't possibly agree more. Short-circuited Brewers. I do it because I think, honestly, I just found what I was meant to do. I can go out and film all day, and I've even taken to the editing process as much more enjoyable and fun. It's just, I really love doing this. I'm just hoping that at some point it provides a passable living. I could live with that.
Hey, there you go. I think it'll happen for you because I know how passionate you are and how good you are, and as soon as it'll happen, you just keep doing it. And you know, I think when you say you hope one of us blows up, I think you'll be that guy, and you know we'll still be here with you. So that's
if I'm that guy, I'm gonna drag everyone with me. I've said that so many times. I'm dragging every stinking one of you guys with me. I can't wait.
Yeah. So anyway, that being said, I don't want to. Are you good, Mike? Are you? I know I don't know what your plan is, but you know we've had you on.
I'm having fun.
All right, good.
I'm not getting any work done for the rest of the night. I can tell you that right now. So.
No. Well, hey, Mike, would you mind if we had another person join us and then join the party here for a few minutes?
Oh, no, bring on beer.
Yeah, so this is a great story. So Chris, if you want to jump in, did I send you the link? Send him the link if you could real fast. So the Bearded Beerman, we had him on our last stream, just fantastic, and check out the channels. Don't be so confused, Tom. This isn't that hard. Hold on.
It's your computer.
It's Gmail.
So we were getting ready for the stream today, Michael, and Andy actually came to my house, and I was letting him in, and this is at 8 o'clock tonight, and he's like, "There's a package." I'm thinking it's just Amazon, but it's not Amazon. I'm like, "Whoa, this is from California. What is this for?" I open it up, and it's one of our good friends who also is a home brewer. He was on our last stream, and he sent us these Def Leppard beers that you won't get any of, unfortunately.
No off limits.
Which is really nice because Andy loves Def Leppard. And then also a bunch of his home brews. Yeah, he wanted us to kind of like tell him what he thought of it. So Andy's really itching to open this one beer.
I gotta try this rye.
And he's been on all night, so
yeah. So Chris, if you're still on, man,
I don't know if he's still on.
He was just a couple minutes ago.
He's here. He says he's here.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Bearded Beerman, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's awesome. He comes on the best hour on occasion. I love that guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
You'll get a chance to meet him.
Who doesn't come on the best hour, Michael? Come on.
Come
Michael,
on.
I know it's probably killing you not being outside, though, because, you know, I loved seeing your best hour when you're out at some field and it's nice outside and you're just, you know, loving life, and now you're going to be inside every day. It's got to be a drag a bit, huh?
It's it's a totally different energy.
Right.
It really, honestly, is a totally different energy. So it's a little on the tough side.
Well, let's hope we have a quick winter and you can get back outside in March, maybe. What do you think? Maybe? I don't know. Or I think you just need to take a trip down south somewhere. There he is.
That's the plan. We're going to take a trip down south to Florida, hopefully after the new year, and get some nice outdoor broadcasting in.
You're going to hit Disney, right?
I hope so. We'll see.
Well, we got Chris. Chris, say hi to Michael. I think you guys know each other.
I got you. Unmute yourself there, man, and jump on.
Is he there?
He's there.
I don't see him.
I see him. I can't hear him.
Do we have him muted for some reason?
Do we mute him?
We must unmute him. Did you mute him?
I did not.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you. We got you. What's up, man?
All right.
First of all, thanks. I had no idea you were sending it, so it was a pleasant surprise. It was a little bit rushed. Andy actually brought the package into me because he came to my front door. He's like, you got a package.
I'm thinking it was Amazon Santa. I had no idea. And then, bam, here comes this gift. I could not. I'm telling you, Todd is going to probably not see any of it.
I'm going to see one at least.
Yeah, my work was offering free shipping to employees, and I figured this was a great time to send a little more heavier package.
This is fantastic.
This is fantastic. And so he sent us not only that, but 3 of your home brews. Now, Chris, Andy really wants to open up this rye because he loves rye. Do you mind if we do that tonight?
Excellent.
So can you
please do
explain to everyone what you brewed here? We're gonna pop this. We're gonna pour it.
Good hiss. Nice smoke.
Oh yeah, it's
nice smoke.
Already, I'm excited by this. Tell us what we're about to drink here, man, because I could not be more excited.
Mike, I'm sorry we don't have one for you.
Good carbonation on this too. This is nice.
So if you remember back to my 100 subscriber video where I did my brewing live, this was the beer I did.
Oh, okay.
It was the rye IPA. And so, yeah, it was a kit, but it was an all grain. Or no, this one was an extract also.
Okay.
So this was my second home brew.
Oh.
And so.
What's the one you said you want us to really, maybe all of them, but there's one in particular.
You had an ESP, right? Do you want us to try too?
Yeah, the ESP was one I was doing a collaboration with Bumpy Road, but we both thought we had problems with our brews. Well, I decided to tap mine anyways and practice kegging, and everybody who's tried it here has just loved it.
Well, good.
And so I was just, I needed somebody's opinion who wasn't local to try it out and tell me how close to an actual ESB it was. And
it smells, so this rye though smells sweet.
It does. It's almost like this smells like a honey.
So
rye.
that was brewed back in August, so that's got a couple months on it.
All right. So the hops, what hops did you use in it?
Oh boy, I don't remember now.
That's really sweet. It's got almost like a caramel raisiny kind of
it does
feel on.
You said this was an extract kit?
Yeah, that was an extract kit.
Man,
that's a nice beer, man.
Really nice.
That's a nice beer.
The hops probably came. Yeah, the hops are certainly in the aromatics have subsided. It smells sweet.
No, it's
very good though. I'm getting a little bit of peppery from the rye malt,
but I'm really getting some dried fruits on that. That's a pretty beer, man.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun, and everyone I gave it to was a big fan of it.
6%. So it's not going to kill us. It's not going to kill us.
No, this is good.
Michael, you still sipping on that Lost IPA, or you moved on to something else?
No, we're on that. We're getting close though. We're gonna go on to the next one in a little while.
Chris, do you know
Michael? I want to say, so nice to finally see your face or see you face to face, sort of.
It is nice to meet you as well. I've seen you on the Best Hour a couple of times, and it's really, really cool to get to put a face behind the name on the screen. So it's awesome to meet you.
And Chris, you can probably attest to this because you're on his stream as well. How cool of a sort of community that Michael has created for creative.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It's really
it's so nice. I'm usually at work, and so I get to listen to it while I'm working, and whenever I can sneak a chance to type something in, I try to. But yeah, it's so neat to watch the stream and see the different people you bring on, and I'm always learning something from you guys. From Michael, from all you.
Oh man, that's awesome, Chris. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Hopefully, Michael, some of our beer guys who have seen you, I know Craft Beer Pours was on here a little bit earlier, and Trish from One Sip at a Time, and Drunken One, and Short Circuit Brewers. They can please subscribe to Michael if you're looking to find other creators and really sort of grow your channel. Here's the man. He's with us. There's nobody better than Michael. He's a great collaborator. So please check. The link is in the bottom of this, wherever we're at. I don't know.
So I'm bringing it back to music. So this is
funny. Oh gosh.
No, this speaks to both of you. This is what's funny.
Okay.
So I hit one of our local liquor stores today to grab an extra wheat wine ale, Bourbon County, for Todd's gonna pull it out and show you. Oh, that sounded right. And
luckily it's above the waist shot, so
yeah. So
family show.
I went to the section in the back, and sitting next to each other, they have the Trooper, which you might like this, Mike, the beer that Iron Maiden did. And then they have, it's a Belgium Saison. It's a play off a Tout Le Monde that Megadeth did off their, I think it was a Risk album, or Euthanasia album. I can't remember what the name is. Tula something beer. Sitting right next to each other. They always had like a little rock section because then there was a Metallica bourbon that they were doing. And I was like, wouldn't a 4-pack of this look just perfect right next to it? And then Chris sends this little gem, and I was like,
major. It's just like a Christmas.
They tied all three parts together. Everyone, I'm
giving all year round.
I have to say, it was so much fun hunting for that.
You Chris, have no idea how giddy I've been since
his month, probably. Christmas present, then what you got?
Christmas came December 12th. I'm marking this down. Santa came.
Excellent, good.
And so, yeah. So
he opened it up, and his eyes were like, oh. I thought it was like some amazing, and I love this beer, and it's cool and all, but I thought it was something like more bourbon kind of stout or something.
Awesome.
And as far as I can tell, that's the last of it in my area.
There you go. I got one more here that I haven't opened.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. And Michael, Short Circuit Brewers just up to you, so he's on board with the best hour of the day. Hopefully you can get more beer guys into your channel, because I think that would help.
Awesome. Short Circuit. I really hope you enjoy it. I really do. I guess I'm kind of probably on here through my vlog channel. Depending on what sort of stuff you want to watch. The vlog channel is mostly travel, inspiration, and right now the best hour is on there, so it is the place. As of January 1st, the best hour is going to move on to video content marketing. But if you stop by the best hour, you'll learn that anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, great beer, Chris.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you.
You know, that's how. So, how long have you been brewing? Real quick, I know you said earlier it's not long, right?
I've been officially brewing since June, so just about 6 months.
So, have you moved on to all grain kits or all grain original recipe? How about original?
Both.
Both. There you go.
Yeah, both. The other one I sent you, the Hoppy Stout.
Yes.
I think I sent you. That is my own recipe completely.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And that comes in at somewhere close to 140 IBUs.
Oh my goodness.
That's
all right.
Whoa. Well,
and so
very high for a black you say Hoppy Stout. Should be a black IPA, really, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
still that
so you guys are talking
what's that, Mike?
Language. What's an IBU? Is this something that you put in the hospital?
Yeah, it's an international bittering unit, so it's how bitter the beer is. So how bitter is the beer? The higher the number, the more bitter it is. The lower, the less bitter.
It's like the Scoville ranking for like the jalapeno for the peppers. You know, as it goes up and you get the chili peppers, it's kind of like that.
Right.
So do they put that stuff on the can, or is it just?
Some do.
Yes, most do.
Not all of them do, but some do. I mean, so something like this double duck pins, probably I think maybe like 70 IBU.
So Chris, when I do the red rye, the I Saw Red Rye, I do that every year too with the porcelain pumpkin on me. That's usually around 100 IBUs. So nice and hoppy. So this is, what did you use? What hops did you use in the Hoppy Stout? I'm curious.
I used German Magnum.
Oh, just one hop.
Just
one hop. And I did an ounce at 60 minutes, an ounce at 30 minutes, and then an ounce at flame out.
With this stout?
Yeah.
And it gets you 140?
From what if I did the math right, yeah.
Interesting. Right. What's the?
It's possible I did the math wrong.
Who knows? We're gonna drink it though, and it's gonna be.
But yeah, it's like 13. I think it was 13% alpha acid.
Okay, so it's high. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's
pop it, Andy.
No,
we're probably gonna drink a little bit here. Michael, are you okay with that? We're gonna start drinking.
Absolutely.
There you go. Michael, you okay with us drinking more?
Drinking more. Like, what does this all mean? What is it?
I just poured the double duck right now. So
there you go.
The double duck is fantastic.
That's one of my favorites.
Both of ours, a local favorite there that I'm telling you is really good stuff.
You know, the cool thing about what we do, Michael,
that smells
you say product, we get a lot of beer sent to us from brewers. So that's the cool thing is we've got stuff from Elysian, we got stuff from Heavy Seas, we've got stuff from EVO. They'll send us beer and say, review this beer. You know, that's what we get. We get beer. You guys get products, we get beer. I think it's a win-win.
I look forward to getting to the beer.
Yeah.
I would definitely take that.
Woo, that's a rosy smell.
Let's see here. Hold on. Let's check it.
No, I'm already digging the smell on this, Chris. I'm telling you.
Chris,
so that was brewed on September 30th.
Okay, and these are meant to sit. It's got legs on it too. Todd, check this out.
Buddy. Hoppy stout, huh? I love it.
Yeah, because my brother-in-law does not like stouts. He thinks they're just too malt forward, and so I was joking that I was going to make the first hoppy stout, and then I realized that's a black IPA. And
well, the one thing you want to do with a black IPA though is here's a trick. Here's a tip for you. Next time you do this. Put all your dark malts in the mash like last 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You want to keep it, so you still get the color and some of the roastiness, but you don't get all the roastiness so that you can let your hops come through and really bite into it. And I learned that from, I don't know if you know Dr. Hans. He's a brew tuber. Sweden. If not, look him up, Dr. Hans. He gave me that tip, and it works. My black IPA came in second in the AHA homebrew competition. And I attribute all to that because it allows, you still get a little bit of roastiness and you get all the color, but you let the hops come through. It works perfectly.
Game changer for Todd with the black IPA.
There you go.
Game changer. It smells nice.
I get some chocolate notes out of that though too. Still, I mean,
a lot of coffee has come through in the last couple weeks of it.
Yeah.
But when we first brewed it with Nate the cameraman, we took a whiff of it and we're like, oh God, we're not going to be able to drink this for months because it was so strong.
No.
But after we let it ferment and naturally carbonate, it was really drinkable.
Pusa, I guess, has sent people over to us.
I believe Pusa is doing a raid.
That's great for us. Hey, they're doing a raid. Pusa sent the people. They've ended and sent people over. Wow. Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. We've got Michael, our special guest, Michael Feyrer Jr. from the Best Hour of Our Day. He has joined us for most of our chat. And then we also have Chris from the Bearded Beerman. He has sent us some home brews that we're drinking on. So Pusa Studios is really great for us. I mean, we were on their show, about 8 months ago.
One of the best.
We love them. Absolutely love them.
Experiences that I think we've
helped us move forward. Similar to what Mike's done for us. So, wow.
Tell me a little bit about this double duck pin, because this is different than anything I've ever really had before. It's definitely got almost a bite to it.
Yeah, well, that's that bittering hop flavor. So they put a ton of hops in there. So that's going to be really bitter. They're amped up pale ale, so it's like their double IPA. I wish they would put it's 8.5% too, Michael, so it's a pretty big beer. But I would assume the IBUs on this are pretty high, and that is what you're tasting. That sort of bite of the hop bitterness, that's where you're getting it.
Ah, okay.
Pusa Studios, again, thank you so much.
Andrew, what's up? And Xenia, so glad you guys. Thank you for coming over.
We really appreciate that. We've had a great night tonight.
Yeah, this was wonderful.
We were talking with Michael Feyrer Jr., who was our special guest for this live stream, and then we got a package today very quickly before we came on.
Check it out. Look at this. The Def Leppard Pale from Chris.
That's why we brought him on.
Look at it. It's awesome. The Happy Canadian. What's up? What part of Canada? Happy Canadian.
He loves Canada. I think we move to Canada. Aren't you going to Winnipeg?
Yeah, I'm going to Winnipeg in February. I'm going to go to Winnipeg.
This guy's going. Listen to this itinerary. He's going to in February.
Okay, so
tell this story.
All right, so here, as we're playing this out, here's how this is going to happen. Right, 2 kids. My wife and I haven't been away for forever. So we need some time to ourselves. But
that's good.
We want to do something different and outside the box. So I said, I proposed this. So let's do what's called the Fire and Ice Tour. The fire part is we're going to go in February to Vegas, go to the desert. She has this burning desire to see the Backstreet Boys. So, Michael, I'm sure you want to see them. They do a really good heavy metal version of I Want It That Way. It's really cool.
No doubt.
And then we're going to spend a couple days in Vegas, and then we're going to go to Winnipeg. I'm a huge Winnipeg Jets fan, and see the Jets play hockey. So that's the ice part of the Fire and Ice Tour. So that's coming up in February. So yeah, I don't know. And then I'm a huge Expos fan, but no one knows why. So
hold on, I gotta stop you real quick.
Go ahead.
So Heavy Metal Magnet said, "Are you supposed to drink that beer with one arm?" Oh man! Wow, that's funny.
They're not allowed to come on and bash Lep on this channel.
My goodness,
that's funny.
That's
almost as good as what has 9 arms and sucks. That's the old joke, because of course it would be 10 arms if we were normal.
That is true.
Yeah.
Michael, one of your good friends, and my good friend as well, our good friend Chanda. Hold on, how do you say their last name correctly?
Well, it's supposed to be Chandra Pivo.
Pivo. You can
but
say
it's
Pivo.
Really Chandra Pivo.
There you go. Anyway, she's joined us. Hi, Chandra. Thank you so much.
Chandra. She's the best.
She is the best. She is the best. That is awesome. And then Pusa, we were singing your praises a little while ago, talking about how we brought Michael on because Michael's such a great sort of collaborator. And sort of has this community of creators that really help support people similar to you. And wow, now that we have both of them on, I don't know what to do. This is great. This is like, this is perfect.
So the Happy Canadian, I don't know how you can be happy at this time of year. I just got to be honest with you. It's freaking cold. All right. It's
what is that?
My life. It's so cold.
What part? I missed what part of Canada?
I missed that as well. I missed that as well. I'm wondering what part of Canada they're from.
Not that I'm thinking any of it is warm, but I've been seeing some of the temps for the Jets games. I'm like, ooh, I can only imagine what February is looking at.
Well, I know Pusa's in Canada as well, so they know how cold it is.
Yeah. But Winnipeg is. I'm worried about getting stowed in, spending a little bit too much time there.
Close to Toronto.
Yeah. Winnipeg in February doesn't sound good for anybody.
Well,
Duke from Montreal, so we have lots of Canadians here.
I really don't. Oh. Let me, hey, Pusa, if you're around, any chance you want to come on this wonderful stream to say hi to people? I don't know. If you feel like it, we'd love to have you on for 5-10 minutes. Is that possible?
Doodles by Doug.
Is there any chance that could happen? I would love to have you on.
It's even cold in Alabama.
Is it really?
It's not snowing here, close to Toronto. Okay, close to Toronto. All right, there we go. Yeah, the Winnipeg is going to be freezing. I'm sure.
I'm trying to find the link. Hold on.
So, but I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait. And they are diehards. Who's that? Jenny from North Dakota. Oh, I'm sure that's
North Dakota.
Too. We thought about flying into Minnesota and then driving up through the Dakotas to get.
And your wife's agreed to this. Jackie's.
So here's the funny thing.
I don't understand.
So my wife is Portuguese and she's a huge soccer fan.
That doesn't.
World Cup and Euro Cup comes around, and she's all about. I mean, we're watching all the games, the Portugal games, and all. Actually, we watch all the games. I can't get her to watch a lot of baseball with me. She won't watch football with me. Something about last year during the playoffs, the Jets were just on fire. She got so into it, and so I've got my little girl, my now 6-year-old, then 5-year-old, and my wife in Winnipeg shirts watching the Jets games, and they could not get enough of the playoffs. So I made little fans out of them. So now, we watch them all the time. So I've got a Portuguese wife who likes the Winnipeg Jets with her Italian husband from Baltimore who likes the Winnipeg Jets. Go figure, huh?
I don't get how that works.
Doesn't make sense.
You guys are happy, so that works. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Maybe it's not supposed to.
So I need to ask, since you've got a 6-year-old,
yes.
Does she enjoy brewing with you?
You know what's funny? we got this. My wife's biggest fear is going to a parent-teacher conference and having her talk about Daddy and his beer all the time, because my mother likes to laugh because she always says, I laugh the fact that your daughter always says, Daddy, let me add the hops. So anytime I'm brewing a beer, she comes out and she wants to toss the hops in. So I put them in a little cup and she pours them in. So yeah, she has contributed to some of the beers that everyone sipped on and we've sent out. So she's my little home brewer in the making. We went to Third Wave Brewing in Del Mar, Delaware, and it was the first female-run brewery in the state. And we actually did a little segment on that about the number of female brewers and how it's on the rise.
It's an amazing story. I mean,
it's really cool. If you had a chance,
go back and watch
everyone out there, go check out the Third Wave video. It's just a really cool story.
Two very good friends who were home brewers, and you would appreciate this, Chris. And a brewery was moving out of state, out of a facility, and they said the one person, she was a dentist. I think one was a dentist and a UPS driver. And they're like, let's buy the brewery then. They're leaving. Let's buy it. Let's buy the facility. And they were only home brewers.
They had brewed for 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah. And then they started a commercial brewery. And they're great. Their stuff is
so
fantastic.
Good.
So we did this. It was the first ever brew tour that we did as a group. And so we went to Evolution Craft Brew in Salisbury, and then right down the street went to Third Wave. The funny thing was Evolution outgrew their building, and Third Wave bought it.
Yeah.
So we saw them both. Really no plan to actually have the two meet up.
Yep.
But we went from the new big place at Third Wave. Then we went to, at Evolution. Then we went to Third Wave, and we just absolutely fell in love with Third Wave and their people and just how great they were. And I actually think in February, not during my Winnipeg run, but I think we might be doing some work with Third Wave that I think is going to be really fun. We're going to spotlight them again, almost like a year to the date, to come back and
do a live stream from their brewery with their head brewmaster and their owner.
Yeah,
which will be
they're great people. They're really cool. So they're the epitome of a small brewery that does not want to get big. They just want to accommodate their people. They deliver to 3 states.
Yes.
They make good stuff. And almost everything that you want, you have to go there to get, because they only will sell like 3 beers commercially. It's really cool.
Even around us.
Yeah. It's
Definitely.
awesome.
So the cool thing about them is that was back in February. We had just sort of started this channel, and we went on this sort of Eastern Shore run, and we didn't really know what we were doing. And we were emailing everybody. This is total outreach, where we had, I think at the time, 500 subscribers. If that, I don't even know if we had that. And they were opening their breweries to us. They were waiting around for us to come do a video. And, we kind of didn't know what we were doing, but it turned out to be sort of like an eye-opening experience.
I think that was, we talked about how this video series with the Bourbon County Sounds really launched us as far as from a numerical standpoint. And we were really lucky to hit that sweet spot at the right time. But the Third Wave video is one of those videos we fell in love with. We weren't sure if we got enough good footage. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to edit it properly. We weren't sure if the sound was going to work. And all of a sudden, it turned into this piece of art that we were like, we're so proud of this one video.
Proud of it.
And it's
they put it on their website.
If you go to they put it actually embedded on their website. If you go to our page and click on our channel, it's the first video we always show, because it was such a moving piece for us. And it worked. It was just amazing. It just really worked. It was awesome. So we got to go back and see him.
We got some special guests. Now, this is turning out to be a fun night. This is a party. Michael, say hello to Pusa Studios. Mike, you guys know each other, right? Come on,
man. Yes, of course.
You talk about people that I've spoken to on the phone. It's just another person.
That's
these guys. Pusa Studios is awesome, man. I've had the pleasure getting in last year, and man, it's just awesome. In fact, they're a big reason why I managed to make the 1,000 subscriber threshold. They really made a big push for me, and it was just amazing.
Well, right back at you. I mean, you do so much for so many people on here. I mean, a constant force for helping other channels. Selfless. I love it. And I'm behind it. So, I mean, hats off to you, my friend. It's our pleasure to help you any way we can. You help so many.
You're growing your winter beard in, man.
She loves beards. I'm covered.
I do.
She's the one that
Excellent.
Keep it. Yes.
Hold on. No.
Perfect.
Wait. I have nothing. I don't have nothing.
Chris, that's when you drop the mic and just walk out of the room. That's perfect. That's perfect timing. That's awesome.
That was good. I'll do it till it gets on my nerves. Then I'll shave it one day. She'll be upset. Then we'll start coming back.
Yeah, I do.
We'll go through this waltz all winter. So.
And our daughter gets upset too when he shaves it off. So I'm not the only one here that loves beards. So.
She tells her
I think my daughter would be very upset if I ever shaved my beard off.
She wouldn't know you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's older than her.
That's funny. That's funny.
Good to see you guys.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us in as well to your guys' chat. Thank you.
You know, the last time, well, actually, the first time that we jumped on with you, I mean, just look at the production that you guys have done now compared to when you had us on close to a year ago. Yeah,
it was over. I don't. Yeah,
it was close to it.
Last spring,
about 8-9 months ago.
We started live streams in the beginning of May.
So spring.
Yeah.
Springtime, right?
It was the summer, I think. I think we did them in June or July.
Yeah,
so
you guys were around the end because the last one we did was the beginning of the first day of July. So yeah, you guys were, I think, maybe in the middle or somewhere.
Yeah, 6 months ago.
But you guys notice that, like Michael too. I was going to ask him, like all you guys, you notice that on YouTube, it's like years to dog years on here.
Yeah.
Things pass so fast and happen so much. Like when you were introduced to Michael, at first my head is like, well, I've known Michael for years now, you know. My God, we go way, way back. It feels like 10 years already, you know.
And I've only been here for years, so
exactly.
You were so right, man.
Same thing, but it feels that way because I don't know what it is with YouTube, but it definitely feels like a lot longer than what it is. So.
You guys have it's just awesome what you've been able to do. We're glad you came on. I think you really helped us change our direction a little bit and inspired us to kind of step outside our comfort zone a little bit and start doing some new things and even take our collaboration to the next level. So it's we like almost everyone else who was on this chat owe you a great deal of gratitude because you guys are just fantastic. We're glad you guys are here with us.
Oh, I appreciate it, but I mean, we're all in it together, and I think we're all inspiring each other. You know, I mean, like when we came in and Michael said, you know, like helped him get to 1,000. I mean, he's helped introduce me to a ton of people too. You guys have opened up the beer community. I met you guys through, like we're saying the other night with Jada Diva.
Yeah.
Jada Diva got us in with Craft Beer Pours, and we got in with you guys, and so on and so forth. It's all full circle in the end. We're all doing it together.
And guys, congratulations of getting your hours. I mean, I'm so looking forward to the next level of what's going on with your channel, because as we were talking, when even back then, 6 months ago, you have so much potential of just jumping on Netflix or one of these big networks and having a show there. Yeah. And that was 6 months ago, and now even more so. So looking forward to that.
Well, thank you. We're having fun. We
have some plans.
We now have a backlog of stuff that I'm working on editing, and we've got new ideas and stuff like that.
Business plans.
We've got
we're working on it.
We never expected this when we first started, and I was laughing at Todd for his selfie videos. So it's a long way.
Michael, you still no monetization.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's disgusting at this point. It really is. It's, you know.
Well, not being monetized isn't what bothers me. It's the simple fact that they won't even send me an email telling me what's going on. Yeah, I've tried to send emails through a couple of different formats, and it's kind of like what Gator says. When a company doesn't have a 1-800 number, they don't want to hear you and they don't want to know you until they want to know you. So I just have to sit around and wait for them to decide they're going to respond, and that's kind of ridiculous.
So what is the length? I mean, Pusa, maybe you can shed some light on this for somebody like Michael, who's had, he has 8,000 watch time hours now. He's met the threshold since August, which now is 5 months ago almost.
Yeah. A lot of them are falling into that category, unfortunately. It's sad, and that's the sad truth of it.
We were kind of lucky.
I guarantee you that 21090 Brewing will be monetized before I am, because they were previously monetized. Right. And that's how this works. I was monetized before, So I've just got to wait. But Panic D Videos got it pretty much less than 2 months after they. And anyone who's being remonetized is not going to have any problems.
Okay. See, we were never monetized, and we actually were only a week and a half.
Wow.
But that was because of a special circumstance.
Oh, right.
Some media tried to take our channel down. They had already gone through everything. So we figured that's why it was expedited. They had just gone through everything.
Yeah, well, they're also looking through the content and stuff, and sometimes just things get shuffled under the stack of papers, unfortunately. Like, I just wanted to remind Michael, if you remember, Cody Warner wasn't monetized even when he hit 21,000.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was still not monetized.
You have to remember that he went from from 3,000 to 45,000.
Yes, but he still
in about 7 days.
That's right, but he had his hours and his he had his watch time and supporters when he was on our show as an interview. He had already everything. He had applied, just he never got an answer, and he still haven't had it weeks after when he hit 21,000. So you know, I'm just saying that unfortunately it happens. I just hope they resolve it.
The biggest thing with it is that you got to think of it this way. It's amazing that today we know some people on that have 10, 12 million subscribers have built. I'm going to take Linus Tech Tips, who has now 28 employees, what, 7.5 million, 3.5 million, and another channel. I think he's probably over 1 million now. And they have no contract on all this built up that tomorrow YouTube could shut the whole thing down, and they don't owe you an explanation. They don't owe you nothing. A whole fortune, a whole wealth built on something that could crumble in an instant.
Oh, like, yeah, you gotta have an all the above approach, or you certainly, if the monetization process has taught me anything, it is that you certainly can't count on YouTube. You gotta have an all of the above approach.
Yep.
So you gotta be working on affiliate and all the other platforms as well. And it's tough as a single person because I'm the only one doing any of this, but we're slowly growing everything, and I'm pretty excited about that. So,
well, you have a good outlook about all that.
I'm not sure whether I'll even turn on monetization when it actually happens. It would just be nice to have that YouTube rep, like I had talked to you about before.
Yeah.
Yes.
The rep is worth its weight in gold. That's exactly it. Like, our life hasn't changed any more at 4,600 than when we had 1,000. It's nothing different in anything. But the rep does make the change. That's what I tell people. Even if you don't want to be monetized, leave it off. But just for the rep itself, it's worth it.
Bingo. That's the key right there. That's what I'm waiting for.
Like tonight, we had on, not to push by what we did, we had Michael Price on, you know, we were excited. What happened? We got a bunch of buffering from Google servers, which we had now and then. And I'm watching it spike, and it's kicking out 20-some people at a time. There's nobody to complain to, because what are they going to do? Oh, well, that sucks. You know what I mean? That's the part that does suck about it. And there's nowhere, even with a rep, it's not going to help you in anything because they don't owe you anything. There's no contract that says they got to give you a server that works. They don't have to give you a contract that this is going to happen, or they're going to push your video. You're really like in fleeting hands most of the time on YouTube. So it is a big gamble on that.
Andrew, let me ask you this question. We were, again, as Michael said, we were monetized before the threshold and then got demonetized, and now, 8 months later have met the threshold. We have 4 videos that have, and I talked to Michael about this, we have 4 videos that have copyright claims on it that we still put up. They're allowing it, and they have ads on them already.
Yep.
Why is that? But yet we still don't have approval yet.
Because that's a YouTube thing. That's the thing. I mean, they override everything. They can do it.
You're sharing the revenue, and since you're not monetized, you're not getting your part of the revenue, but the person who claimed the copyright is getting theirs. They need an advertising on it.
Our channel is basically still not approved though yet.
Yeah, but that doesn't, because you're not involved in the equation. Yeah. All that one does is say that you're allowed to take part of that revenue. That's the only thing that would be debatable.
If you would be monetized.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going partly to YouTube and partly to the one who claimed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, though, you guys will be monetized before Christmas.
Okay. We'll see. That's fine. And that's not a big deal for it. We have other ideas. I mean, I don't think we're not going to get any amount of big money from monetization.
We're not quitting our day jobs.
No. But I say about the rep a lot, but honestly, they say it's not true, but you do notice a push once you're monetized.
Okay.
Because they're making money. And, we'll say, well, it's not really worth it. It's $10, $20, whatever it is. But to YouTube, who's making off of 100 million channels doing that, to them it's big money.
You know, how they are answering, and I watched it. Maybe you guys watched that too. The Creators Insiders when they were talking with one of the head, you know, from YouTube, and they asked the same question about, well, are you pushing, you know, more monetized? And he said, well, no, we're not pushing the more monetized ones, but we are the more advertising friendly content. So, I mean, is the same answer, just in a different wrapping, you know.
Exactly.
You know, so yes and no, you know. So if you are have advertising, obviously they're going to push you more because they want to earn more money. They just don't want to say it direct way, but that's basically what he answered.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, Mike, something very interesting though, and I don't like to get into politics a lot, but they were doing these hearings in committee in the Senate or something, and these guys were asking all about all these videos about making fun of Hillary and making fun of this person and making fun of that person. I don't have a political affiliation, so this is not a rant on that. But essentially, YouTube's answer to all of this is, yeah, we're looking into it.
Of course.
And to me, at least I know that YouTube is not looking to censor comedy and satire and all that sort. They're very hesitant to censor satire and comedy, no matter how much the government wants to get involved with that process. So at least there's that. At least there's that. I can appreciate that.
Definitely, but once again, like with Article 13 coming up, that might change a lot, and if it does. So that's going to be a huge change if it does.
It could, but that won't affect the folks in North America. But and of course, at the time this particular broadcast is broadcast, because a lot of my audience is actually in Europe because of the time that I broadcast.
Right, that's true.
But at the time that this is broadcasting, nobody cares.
No,
because there's probably people from Europe in here right now.
But I mean, your content, I mean, already is pretty, you know, is going to go through there. You're not, I don't see you being affected by it. So you're pretty safe on that one in general. And I mean, in my opinion, all it's going to do is boost the sales of VPNs. That's all it's going to do. VPN. If you want to invest in stocks, go to VPNs right now because they're going to go up in value.
Yes, I recently actually got a sponsor from a VPN company, and I'm going to start talking about it on the best hour of my day.
Nice, congratulations!
Awesome. Congrats!
Very nice.
So let me, Andrew and Xenia, let me ask you this: your Thursday when you guys do your European live stream of the day, genius! I love it. Have you? I mean, that seems like it takes off I mean, what made you guys do that other than hearing Europeans saying we can't see you? You know,
one name, Karen Somers. We owe it all to her.
Yep.
She goes, oh my God, you know, we've been up all, you know, and they do, like, they're so amazing because you think we start at midnight for anybody in the UK and later, and she's in the Netherlands. And she said, is there any chance you could maybe do one of them in the daytime? And we looked at it and said, well, you know what? They've been good to us. Let's do a daytime one.
It's taken off, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Yeah. No, sorry about that. I apologize.
Go ahead.
No, go
Karen
ahead.
is amazing.
Yeah,
Karen is amazing. She really, really wants to support as many people as possible. You have to understand, Karen came on to the best hour of my day way back in the day, and I encouraged her to get in front of the camera. And since she's gotten in front of the camera, she's gotten so much confidence. And now she's literally out there, putting herself out there and helping everybody. And I love that. It's so awesome.
She is an awesome person, really awesome person. She is exactly as you described her, and she is the thought process behind it. Everything we've done has kind of been out of necessity. Like when we came back to interviews, we knew that people were going to do the sub. You know, they always come in. It's like coming into a rock concert or a club. Yeah. Everybody wants to chitter chatter. How was your day? What's going on? Oh, I got you. So it's like, how do we deal with that? So the time they come in, they're ready to watch. And two, it's hard, I find, to walk in when there's nobody there to start. So we're like, let's start earlier.
Yep.
And then we said, well, I want to start showing again my videos, you know, when I used to do more editing on here and stuff like that. Great, we'll put those on. Now they don't know how long we're going to do it, so let's throw in a time. Everything we do is kind of just out of necessity. How do we deal with this problem, and what's the best way to go through it? And we talk about it, the two of us, and come up with a solution.
That's amazing. I don't want to deviate, but we do, Chris.
This is your last one, buddy.
Last one. We're opening it because the dialogue here. We love it. So we're going to drink. That's what we do best.
Pond Jumper. I love the name.
Tell us what is it, because we missed the beginning of the stream.
Chris, what is this? Chris, tell them what this
so
is.
that was it is an ESB, a British extra. What is that? Extra strong bitter.
Strong bitter. Yep.
And it was supposed to be a collaboration with Bumpy Road Brewery, but we both had some brewing technical difficulties. And fortunately, mine came back. The yeast had gone to sleep, but had recovered. And I needed to start practicing with putting beer straight into kegs. So I put it straight into the keg and did a forced carbonation. And everybody who's had it here has fallen in love with it. I actually had somebody who offered to buy a 5-gallon keg for a birthday party.
Now that is the compliment right there.
But
has a nice
since
color.
I don't,
I like that.
Yes.
but because it fermented for almost a month, I'm not sure how the flavor actually compares to a proper ESB.
Well, let's take a look. We'll tell you. We love ESBs here.
And Todd, if you want to take a sip of that, I'll fill Xenia and Andrew in. So Chris was on our last live stream, and you guys would appreciate how much, you know, big 80s fans, and we've talked music when we were on with you guys. So he sent us a couple of his beers, and then he sent us the beer that we reviewed from Elysian, when we did the Def Leppard Hysteria review.
So cool.
This was like Christmas came early for me.
And he's happy.
I was flipping out. This was fantastic.
So Chris, it tastes a little dry to me. So
Okay.
Where did it attenuate down to? You said a month. Did it get down real low?
No.
Hey, Todd, Andy, for anybody who doesn't know, Chris is the Bearded Beerman. If somebody could drop his link in the chat, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Thank you, Mike. See, Michael's a pro at this. We're two slubs that don't know.
I just want to make sure everybody knows who's talking, because it just says the Bearded, but he's not actually in the chat, so I couldn't drop his link.
There you go. Bearded Beerman. Somebody can do that for us, hopefully. Or we can try to. I know we have somebody in here that's Xenia. She can do it. She's Bearded Beerman. Bearded Beerman. You just type him in, you'll find his page.
She always.
Thank you, Xenia. I appreciate that. It's weird because I'm not a
just real
Google
quick.
Hangout user, so I'm logged in a different account on this one.
No, it's no problem. It's Xenia's always doing that for me. She's my. I was going to say my right hand man. I don't think that's the best term for it.
Woman.
I like to call it sandwich maker.
Yes, I love when you say that.
Make your own sandwich.
The only reason why I can get away with that is because Monica is such an amazing woman, and she stands behind me, and she thinks it's funny. So that's the only reason why I get away with it.
I do love it. I do love it when you say that. I think that's so awesome all the time.
There he is. He's in the chat now.
There we go.
There we go. There it is. There he is.
So my original gravity on it was 1.080. And after the yeast had gone dormant and come back, I finally got it down to 1.026.
Okay, so it was. There's still a lot of unfermented sugars in here then. So I don't know why.
Yeah, it wasn't dropping anymore. So I finally decided I was going to just keg it.
So they finally did these around 6 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's easy to drink. I can see why people like it. With the true ESB, I'd want a little bit more toffee or sort of caramel notes. It's a little bit more. That's the only thing. That's the only critique.
I don't know. I'm liking it. I think this is
beautiful color.
This is a pretty beer, Chris.
Thank you. And for my first time kegging and forced carbonating, I am so happy with the carbonation.
Perfect carbonation. Beautiful. The mouthfeel is amazing.
I don't have no problem sitting down and having a couple of these. This is good stuff.
Beautiful. Anyway, so good
actually,
job.
all your beers have been fantastic.
Very good.
You did
what
great.
A treat.
I mean,
look at this. We've got Michael, first of all, agreeing to do this, so thank you. We got free beer from across the United States, from California.
Did I mention how grateful I am?
And then Pusa Studios. It doesn't get much better than this. It really doesn't.
This has been cool.
Oh,
hey,
man.
but let me tell you, Todd and Andy, let me tell you something. the free beer didn't hurt. I'm telling you, this is awesome. They were really awesome.
Well, I feel bad because when we had Pusa Studios on, the problem is they're really tricky about sending things across the border and alcohol especially. You can do it in interstate, no problem, but I had big time issues trying to send them beer. So I feel bad that we couldn't send them beer.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll say thank you for trying. Yeah, it's terrible. We're behind the wall.
Maybe we'll send you some shirts or something, or a glass or something. How's that?
We'll have to cross over, behind the wall on that side, and then.
No wall. I don't want to get into that.
No, definitely. We have to plan some kind of drive through at least part of United States for sure when it gets a little bit warmer again. Definitely. We like to travel, so we definitely have to do that.
Well, you missed it, Jenny. I'm supposed to be heading to Canada in February to Winnipeg to see the Jets play.
Winnipeg? Yeah. In February.
To Winnipeg. Wow.
In February.
I feel for you.
Sounds cold. Hey, I heard a bunch of hockey players on a local TV station were talking about how Winnipeg may actually be the worst city in North America. And they essentially said that it's because the weather is so bad and the whole entire city is underground. So all you see is gray, bad weather, and underground. So there is that.
For his anniversary.
It's not so bad, but it's very cold. That's true. Like we have been in Winnipeg multiple times. We lived in Saskatchewan, and the closest airport actually was in Winnipeg at that time. So we had to go there at least a couple times a year, but it's very cold. Like even in February, it's going to be very cold.
This is the Fire and Ice tour. We're going to go to Vegas first, then we're going to Winnipeg. So we got the fire, we got the ice. We're going to be okay. We're going to make it work. Or we're going to go in. Spend a long time.
I think that's what's happening. You're
going to call work and say, we're stuck in Manitoba. I'm sorry, I can't make it back.
That does happen.
Well, shockingly, I listen to a lot of sports radio. So a lot of the guys that are on the channel I listen to are hockey players, and they were the ones that saying that Winnipeg is the worst. And of course, that makes sense because they had to go through there a couple of times a year to play hockey. But
it's a rough.
I read that. That was the San Jose Sharks. Okay, they're spoiled rotten out there. First of all, we shouldn't be playing hockey in California, so they can keep their opinions. See, Mike, this is what you do. You bring out this fire in me, man. I get all excited. The Italian.
These were Philly guys, man.
But that's right. But it's funny because
I have to admit,
the other year. Sorry, go ahead.
Grown tired of the cold, to be honest with you. It must be an age thing, but I'm ready to not do it anymore.
The other we bundle up for a couple days. That place now, the Jets. This is Winnipeg is not New York City, so they don't have a whole lot else out there. And from what I hear, and I've been following them for a while, there isn't a fan base in NHL like them. That place sells out every night. They're just absolutely crazy. The whole town dies for that team. So I just can't wait to see and feel that atmosphere.
Don't you think you should do a vlog from Winnipeg? It's obvious.
There you go.
Yes, right? It has to happen. You don't need me for that. I'm certainly not going.
See, my brother's still hanging in.
Your head will get too cold.
When we lived in Saskatchewan, I worked for I left the music business, and by then I hadn't driven truck in years, worked in an office, all this stuff. I go back to truck driving in the middle of the flattest part of Canada. And it's the next province over from there, about 500 kilometers. I went to work on New Year's Day to go haul oil, and I kid you not, I just converted over. It was minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
there you go.
And we were hauling from oil wells, and all we did for 14 hours was sit there and hook a pump up. Well, they had steamers hooked up the lines because in oil there's always salt water comes up. Every line was frozen down hundreds of feet. That's all they could do is just wrap them with steamers to try and get them open again. Salt water frozen like a block.
And nothing stops. Nothing stops. Yeah. People still go to work. Yeah. They attend school. All the stores are open. Everything goes as normal. That's what was surprising to me. It's like, what are you guys doing outside?
See, Montreal, we don't get it. We don't usually hit minus. We get minus 40 here. So that comes out to minus 40 Fahrenheit. But we have a very humid cold here. And all of Montreal is connected by a subway system. So all the downtown core, all the buildings are connected. So once you're on a bus and get to a subway station, you never have to go outside again. That's why the city never shuts down, even in severe snowstorms.
Mm-hmm.
Says everything, all the stores for 9 kilometers on each side are all connected, intertwined with these 65 stops of the metro station. So you never come up, you just connect from place to place.
Look at that. Down the rabbit hole says, yes, we close schools after -32 here. Anything over that, and the kids got to bundle up and go.
Yeah, and she's on the other side of Canada,
Yeah.
Calgary, Alberta. Yeah.
So I can't go see the Flames either. I got to be careful.
I have a question for you. Do you know of the club Hammerjacks?
No.
The 80s rock club?
No.
Okay.
I drove truck in Baltimore, but I never got to like hang out in Baltimore. Like, you know, that's the problem. I'd love to go back and do it this time.
This is where like the old 80s.
It's funny. Its nickname is the house the Kicks built because they played there. They kind of opened this club.
Every
they
80s
owned
rock
this club.
band did.
Well, yeah, GNR went through a bunch of people, but Kicks kind of made this place. And you being an 80s rock guy,
you
made it.
Oh, I definitely want to go if I get there for sure.
Well, this is also funny because I know you like, Vito Bratta and the whole White Lion gang. So, Mike Tramp from White Lion is actually going to be here in May. He's playing with the
not with Vito Bratta.
I don't think Vito hasn't played in forever.
No.
But yeah, he's going to come through. This is one of the only bands I never saw.
Same here.
I'm going to check.
We're going to see Cheap Trick. We're going to see Kicks. We're going to see Extreme. We're going to see Autograph.
Oh my God! It's a who's who of the old. It's like
the epic of 80s hair band metal.
That is
that's a vlog right there.
And I did see White Lion play. They opened up for Ozzy on the No Rest for the Wicked tour. I forgot about that.
There you go.
That's where I got to see Vito. He played all those solos with his foot up on a monitor, and it was just like he was at home jamming. It's like when he's like a little fighter.
He doesn't play with them.
Well,
no, he's been out of commission for years. He was working at a gas station in Florida, living with his dad.
Yeah,
he showed up at Eddie Trunk's show one night out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you know, it's crazy. So much talent and.
Well, it was like he and Nuno Betancourt were those two underrated guys. And were just so bloody good. And Nuno still plays now with Extreme. They're going to be there too. Extreme's going to be there. So Extreme will be there.
They're going to bring their one song.
more than words.
Nuno's an incredible guitar player, though, but he knows it too. I've met him, and he's not the most modest person I've ever met. He's well aware of what he can do, and it was. The singer, actually, Gary Sharon, he showed up. I seen them when they were the first time together playing after 10 years, and it was at the House of Blues in Anaheim. And he came on a broken foot, which, of course, you're not supposed to fly with anything broken. He flew from Chicago, did the show. You'd think he never had any health problems with him, and he come backstage and collapsed, like the pain. His foot, they couldn't get his shoe off. It was swollen completely.
He's amazing. I mean, they put on a show. Yes. I will say they put on a show.
Yep. And I mean, Nuno, like I say, he's great, but he knows he's good. He was one of the ones, the very few that I found were quite full of themselves to be.
Wasn't he like Rihanna's guitar player or one of the like the big R&B? Like he was the guitar player for some pop act for a while.
For a while, yeah, he was.
Oh,
yeah.
That was Nuno.
Yeah. That's Nuno.
There it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He was all right. I shouldn't say it. He wasn't awful, but he wasn't the most kindest.
I'm gonna have to laugh then poke fun because he's Portuguese. My wife's Portuguese.
I'm not getting involved in that. I never said that. That's right.
Gary Sharon.
Yes.
That's
him with the broken foot after the show.
We saw Extreme. They did their 30th anniversary. Fantastic. They were really, really good.
They do put and I felt bad for Gary Strong because he really got sideswiped with the whole Van Halen thing. I mean,
he did.
It wasn't fair for the way he was treated. You know, I didn't like him in Van Halen, but he still didn't deserve what he got. I mean,
down the rabbit hole says, where hasn't Chip Trick played? They showed up 3 times in a little town called Delia, where my mom teaches. Population 37 people.
They're playing this festival. They're like the Sunday headliner, Cheap Trick. I've never seen Cheap Trick, so I love it.
That's like when we seen, the band Trooper?
No, I don't know who that is.
Here they come, the boys in the bright white sports car. Dun, 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 dun,
that's okay. There you go.
They're from British Columbia, and we seen them when they like one of those small town fairs. They played that song 3 times because they ran out of songs. So it was like, give it up already. Go away.
But actually, the Happy Canadian, you're gonna laugh. I was in a hotel room last week in Delaware listening to Brighton Rock, and he says his boss is the lead singer. Brighton Rock, the band from the 80s, they were a Canadian air band.
Yeah, that's right.
Funny. So
there you go.
So I'll tell you, a small world. Yeah.
Honeymoon Suite came to our office one time, and we have this big wall of Marshalls that everybody always wants their picture taken in front of. And I mean, we have people like Lenny Kravitz that wanted to do it, and all these big guys. Sure, take a shot. These guys show up, him and the guitarist, and said, do you want a picture? Trying to be nice. It was the bass player that actually brought them there. He was just contracted. So we offered to be nice. I don't know. We don't endorse Marshall. Let me get on the phones. And it's like, what? So you can drive away in your Volkswagen Rabbit to your show after of 70 people? Like, give me a break here. Like, it took them like 30 minutes of phone calls. It's like, is this really happening right now? Where I couldn't believe what I watched.
Andrew, you've got so many good stories. You could probably write a book. I tell you what, I love it.
I don't know. It's probably tiresome after a while. I don't know.
It's funny how these musicians can just differ from person to person too. So we went out. If we were doing our channel, 15 years ago or 10 years ago, we went to the original. It was called Rocklahoma.
Yep.
This was in the middle of a cornfield in Pryor, Oklahoma, about 30 miles south of Tulsa. Nothing there.
Nothing there.
And it was like at the time, like the Lollapalooza of 80s hair bands. They all reunited. They were all there 3 days.
Probably 15 years ago.
We got an
10 years
RV, and anyone was pretty much there, minus like Def Leppard and Bon Jovi. Like everybody was there.
Yep.
And some of these, it was Motley, Twisted Sister, Skid Row, Warrant, Winger, Slaughter, Firehouse. They were all there. So Bullet Boys were there.
Bullet Boys.
Oh my God! Oh my God.
Bullet Boys. Yes,
their lead singer was wandering around the crowd after they were done. Mark Torian. Literally, almost hoping someone would recognize him. I mean, it's like he's
getting a waffle cake,
hitting every one of the fried on the stick stands to try and hoping someone would just come up and like, hey, you want my autograph? And I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Like,
sure, I guess. I mean, you want to hang out?
Some of these guys were just so like, it was like trying to recapture a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. The guitars for In Excess was like that after that reality show.
Yeah,
he went on like a complete boob. Like, I mean, it was pathetic to watch. It's like, oh, we're gonna get some gas, like us, like, buddy. That ship is so far sailed for you. Like, just go get some sleep. And
Shannon Previo, I just want to say goodnight. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
And it's funny. We had so we went backstage. My brother's on, so you can all poke fun at Second Story. He's on here. He usually joins us with some of the videos.
Oh, that's cool.
We went, Todd and I went, my brother, but my brother and I ended up backstage one day.
We got to get OBS so we can show these pictures.
Oh my goodness, it'd be great. We'll share them on OBS. But we met the guys from Steelheart. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I remember Steelheart.
They were about as nice a group of guys as you could possibly imagine. I mean, just hung out, shaking hands, nothing crazy. We saw Jack Russell.
How come I didn't get backstage?
It was a VIP time.
Jesus, I didn't get backstage.
God.
Who else did we see? Janie Lane was back there.
Janie Lane, you got a picture of
Miss Janie. I thought he was great. Jack Russell was back there. We were on stage when Jackal was on. That's my second time on stage with Jackal.
Yeah, it was the second time.
I sang
with Jackal.
I know, that is unbelievable. That's crazy. I mean,
he actually got up on stage. They did a cover with Brian Johnson, or a song with Brian Johnson from AC/DC way back, probably 15 years ago. And they're like, "Does anybody know the part?" And Andy's like, "I do. I know it." It's like the movie Rockstar where he
Yeah, I was picturing that in my head actually.
Jump right up on stage, grab that mic, and just wail it. It was
Oh
so
my
good.
God
Let me tell you, it was funny because Jesse James Dupree, who you would think is this larger than life guy, is this little dude. He's this tiny guy. His hair is as long as his body.
That's true.
All musicians are short except for Steve. You go to the only one you can pick out is Steve Vai. He looks like the giraffe in a zoo. You can see him coming from a mile away. Everybody else is 5'6" or under.
It's so true.
Yeah.
He was literally this big, and it was so funny because I took the guitarist, I jumped up to his mic stand because he was playing guitar. I started handing picks out to girls in the front row. I think I'm so cool. I'm handing out guitar picks. I'm slapping people high five.
I get a pick.
He comes up and throws his arms like, he's like, you're having a good time.
Good time. He's like, you're damn right I am.
Yes, I am. I could do this for a living.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was great. And we saw Winger one night. I don't know if you were with us or not. My brother and I.
No.
When you talk about small, if he's pushing 4'5", that's a good day for him. I mean, he was about this big. It was crazy how small he was. But boy, he can play.
They put him in a tour box when the show is done.
Yeah. Hey, there's another guitarist. Brett Beach can shred. That man can shred.
He's one of my favorite guitarists. Him and Vito Bratta out of the 80s. And I mean, all of Winger was so talented.
They really were.
So talented. They could have had
Rob Morgenstein, the drummer. I mean, he's a professor at Berkeley in percussion. Kip Winger has written orchestra sets for 80s.
Yeah. They're all accomplished. I mean, Rob Morgenstein, the guy you're talking, the drummer, he's absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
And then Kip and Reb plays in 10,000 bands. I mean, when he's not with Winger, he goes and fills in for who's the guitarist for Dawkins?
Red Beach is playing for Whitesnake.
Yeah, he works with Whitesnake too. Yeah.
Yep.
One thing I want to say, Happy Canadian. We're wrapping things up here. Thanks, Happy Canadian's been with us for a while. We really appreciate you coming over. And
he's really cool.
Stream's been great. It's been great because we've had awesome guests like Michael, who had stepped away. I don't know where he went to.
Mm-hmm.
So, as always, we owe so much to you guys. I mean, I just, we're big fans, and you know how much we love what you do. So, and then
right back at yous.
And then Chris, Beaded Beerman, he sent us beer, and that's amazing because we love beer. So,
and he's awesome. He's the ultimate cool. I just watch him the whole time. I'm fixated. The beer sitting back, then the whole backdrop and everything. Like,
well, you probably and Beaded Beerman, you also cook with beer, which I think is amazing. That's the cool part.
Mm-hmm.
I think the videos you do about cooking with beer and how you sort of put your passion of beer into food, which is another passion. I love that. Love that.
Well, thank you very much.
No, it's go ahead.
I can't remember if I've said this last time I was on your guys' live feed, but when you guys popped on to one of my first videos and made a comment about how you enjoyed it, it was the strike of the match that really got me going and wanting to do it more and brought more passion.
Awesome.
And from you guys meeting Pusa and meeting Michael and Craft Beer Pours, the last 8 months has just been a whirlwind of awesomeness. And thank you for allowing me to be part of your community.
And we thank Pusa. It's all like you were talking about earlier, Andrew. We're all together in this.
Of course, definitely. Our whole channel is based around being a hub for all the niches.
Yep.
Because it's great to have your niche, but you got to expand and get to know people that aren't directly doing what you're doing, but are interested into it, want to do it, or just like watching it. And that's where we kind of come. But it's you guys that make it happen. And it's the beer community, the mechanic community, the knitting community, all these ones kind of coming together and starting to ball. So
who do you guys have up for the rest of the week? Or I know tomorrow you'll be on your European. I'll be on. We'll be there. But what do you have guests coming up? We missed tonight. I watched replay because I love Andy loved The Simpsons too.
He was awesome, by the way. He was really great. Like, he was so awesome. Like,
well, next week we're gonna have full of surprises. It's the last week before holidays.
Yeah.
And on Friday we're gonna have Steve O'D. He's a podcaster. So we are going to have him on and have a crossover between YouTube world and podcast world and see what the difference is and how we can make it on both if we can. So that's on Friday.
And I want to thank you guys too. I mean, we've been throwing the thanks around. It's also like the guests we've gotten, like you guys got us started. I mean, the people we had on tonight, for instance, mine wouldn't have come without you guys.
Oh,
and support and all that. I mean, and it can't even begin to thank you guys for all of you for that. I mean,
it is our pleasure, and I'll never forget. We were on Jada Diva's stream. I was on Jada, and you came to me and said, "Hey, I got this online show. We want you to be a guest." And at the time, we were like, we're just struggling to try to really get our foothold. And I said to Andy, Andy, these guys want us to be on their show. I said, I don't really know much about them, but we got to do it.
As soon as he said Montreal, I said,
yeah, that's true. He said, hold on, I love Canada.
That's all I need. I said, I have an opportunity to wear my Tim Raines jersey.
I loved it. I can still picture it every time I think of it right away.
I love that when you guys came on and you had all those things in front of you. I'm like, oh my God, that's true fans.
It sounds weird, but like as Canada, even though we're even bigger landmass, we're such a small population. We're not used to getting that. So it does kind of like tickle the fancy a little bit when you finally get to see somebody doing something like that. It does.
And honestly, it's sincere. That's the funniest thing. Like, I mean,
I know.
I just legitimately, I don't know what this kid, it's so funny. My buddy sends me this picture the other night when the three of us were in high school.
No.
I don't even know why I have this random Toronto Maple Leafs t-shirt. I didn't even know I owned a Maple Leafs t-shirt. So I mean, I'm like, what the heck is it with Canada? I have no, I am a Canadian at heart for some reason. I must be. I don't know that.
They make great beer up there too.
So
yeah,
one of these days, Andrew, we need to just get on and just spitball music back and forth and just kind of, because I could do that with you all night. I could just I tell you, I
there it is.
That's going to be happening sooner than later, my friend. So get ready, because you might get a quick notification. We're going to go on to like some sort of hangout and that's coming very soon.
I look forward to watching that.
Yeah.
Michael, you're back. Michael.
Welcome
Mike's
back.
You're all right there, Michael.
Yeah.
Michael's got a 10 a.m. curtain call tomorrow. He's got to make. I don't want to be the reason why he's not doing the best hour of my day.
I'll be there.
There you go.
The Happy Canadian, we had to have you on as a guest. They're called the Happy Canadian. I seen your name and I'm like, well, this is a no-brainer. We're definitely going to get him on.
That is a no-brainer.
And down the rabbit hole, Marty was our very first guest we ever had.
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yep. She was our very first one. I think it was the 4th live stream we ever did.
Yep, that's right.
Because people said you should do this more, and we're like, well, we got nothing to say. So then we went into panic mode and finally said, well, let's get somebody else to come and talk. So that's how it was born, right? Once again, from necessity.
Hey, Michael, let me ask you this. I really enjoyed when you were bringing on guests. Are you looking to do more of that with the best hour, to bring on guests, interview for 10, 15 minutes? I know you only have an hour, so you're kind of constrained, but do you look to do more of that or no?
Yeah, I like to, the goal when the channel switches over is to try to bring somebody on every day to talk about a collaboration that they're involved with. Awesome. And if you guys or Pusa Studios or anybody does a collaboration, I mean, you guys probably do collaborations multiple times a week. Why not come on and talk about who you're going to have on? I'd love to have that.
Awesome.
We're hoping now in the new year to start doing more. We've actually been really bad at collaborations just because it's been so busy. I feel so guilty about it. That's why New Year's.
That's the focus of the best hour. So that's kind of why I want to do that.
And that's why in the new year. So we'll definitely be probably having something hopefully we can bring to the table.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's a way of celebrating collaborations, and we need to see more of them on YouTube. So I really love that. So
well, as you guys know, my philosophy is kind of that I like the collaborations to turn into people that will stand behind the next guy and help them when they when they need a hand. You know how tough YouTube is.
Definitely.
Behind you that you can call on the phone, and the best way to meet them is through collaboration and getting to know the person behind the camera. So
I said it tonight, like, our life hasn't changed with the number we got now versus 1,000. The real truth is the one thing that has changed, I can help more people than I could when I had that's the only thing that's changed. I'm able to help more than I could. Other than that, nothing else besides it, but that's the more you can help, the better it is. So I know what it's like when you first start. You feel like you're in a dark alley and everybody's pulling you side to side. Oh, I'll come with me. I'll do this for you. Oh, come with me. I'll do that. It's a confusing place in your channel. You want to make the right decisions. It's like investing. It's like a small business. Let's call it for what it is when you start a channel. And
it might even be worse than that, because most people with under 100 subscribers or so, nobody's talking to them at all.
No, that's it. I'm talking once you get a couple of hundred, exactly. Under 100, you kind of just fade in the distance, and that's a hard feeling. I think hitting 100, you've seen it on our show notes. I get almost more excited over 100 than 1,000 because I think it's so much fun to watch them hit that. Now you're bona fide. Now you can feel like somebody. Now it's time to move on and spread your wings.
Yeah, it's true. We had our first ever collaboration when we did a New England IPA. I remember this two summers ago, right?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
John from Red Dog Brewing over in England.
England.
He offered, and he had way more subscribers than we did at the time. We were under 100, maybe.
Yeah, it was not.
And he offered to do just send us a video of him introducing like a collaboration with like 21090. So cool to work with you guys.
Yep.
Well, we thought it was the coolest thing that anyone ever done, and it still is. That video meant so much to us.
First collaboration we did.
Someone reached out, and much bigger than we were.
We'll never forget it.
We'll help you, and we were so indebted. We just thought it was the neatest thing. And we've made a point now that anyone who's reached out that's wanted to collaborate in some way, shape, or form, we do our best to say absolutely, whether it's through a beer trade or to have somebody come on.
I don't care if they have 50 subscribers.
No, because it is there's sincerity in that.
Yeah,
you guys, your sincerity comes through, both of you. And Michael, same thing, getting to know your channel and stuff like that, and then hearing stories like Chris say, like, hey, that kind of struck the match that God's that's so cool, and it's inspirational. It gets people.
I loved when I heard that. Like that was nice to hear.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
So I wanted to throw out to Michael, because he talks so much about collaborations, that recently I finally went to one of my local breweries that I really enjoy, and I had Michael in the back of my head saying, "Just ask." And I asked him if I could come in and do a review of their beer, and they're like, absolutely. And for 21090, and Michael, you may have heard of this. Sierra Nevada did a big thing for the campfire out in California, the Resilient beer.
Yep.
And the local brewery invited us in to do a recording of them brewing the Resilient beer.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
And
good for you.
And so we got to spend 8 hours there watching them brew beer, tasting beer. And they've invited us back when they tap it to do a review of it on that day.
That's amazing. That's perfect.
But
wow,
it's something I would never have thought about doing until I started watching The Best Day of My Hour.
There you go.
Hour might.
And
so, you know what, Chris, could you do me a big favor? And I know this is a big ask. Could you just put that on tape for a second? I'm actually putting together a video of a bunch of people that sent me little clips about how much The Best Hour has affected their life or changed the way that they do things. And it would really mean a lot to me if I had something like that on tape as well. If you could, I would really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you, man. That would be awesome.
It is good that you motivate people to do that, because that's what it is. You got to be a go-getter on here and taking those chances. The worst somebody's going to say is no.
Yeah,
no's are easy, but it is hard at first to get over that, and that's where it's great when Michael's telling somebody. We were talking about that tonight. I don't know if you guys remember, we had that guest a couple of weeks ago, Doug Tenaple, the guy that created Earthworm Jim.
That was fantastic.
That was such a fluke. That was just a panel of a bunch of guys I knew nothing about. I started looking them up. I seen this one guy had Patricia Heaton, the mother from Everybody Loves Raymond, in his living room. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy's big. I don't know who he is, but he's big. And then I researched him. So I started following him. And what he does is so cool. He's drawing for hours in his Hangouts, and then he just throws the link in the chat and invites all these artists, if you want to come up and draw with me. And he spends an hour just coaching them on. Some guys only have 50 subscribers and only been drawing for 3 months or how long they've been. They just go up and talk. And I just grabbed the link and I went up, and I'm the only one not drawing anything. And I'm like, oh, this is either going to work or I'm going to look like the biggest idiot that God ever created. And I'm like, I just told him what I did. And he's like, oh, I like that. And I'm like, well, you ever want? I said, if you're ever interested, I would love to have you on that. Yeah, let's do that. He said, get me on Twitter. We're going to do that. And a week later he came up, and he could have said no, but take a chance, you know?
I think that's so important. You know, Todd's actually putting his older son upstairs, walked him up. But when we did our Eastern Shore Brewery tour, Evolution, we talked about Third Wave Brewing, the one that we kind of came out to be the staple, and then Dogfish Brew. We did all three of those. We called and asked and just said, hey, we have this channel. We'd love to come in and review, and can we do a tour? And Todd's like, well, you should. We don't have anybody. I was like, well, maybe they won't care. We went to the brewery. They had our videos playing when we walked into Evolution on the TV.
Oh,
wow.
They said to us, how many other breweries have you done this for? And, well, you're kind of it. This is the at the time, Todd and Eric got there before I did. And they said, well, where's the rest of your crew? Expecting cameras and stuff like that. And I was about 10 minutes behind coming from work with a cell phone. Like, that's it again. They could have easily just been like, oh, you guys are kidding me. But they were so appreciative. They're like, yeah, come out, have fun. And we spent the whole day there and ended up producing a good product. And it was all just because we weren't afraid to ask and say, hey, why not? Can we do this? And we found people, oftentimes, hey, the answer is always no until you ask, right? So
right.
Yeah.
it was cool. And so, Chris, I just think that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's so amazing. And Michael, I think your best hour of the day is it is a hub for people to get that motivation and inspiration in the morning for North America, especially, it's just that push. Okay, I gotta do it. I had this like a coach, almost like a pep talk in the morning with Michael, and now I'm ready to do that. That's oftentimes, I think that's how people feel after watching you in the morning.
You have a message that is inspiring people. It's not going unnoticed. I just want to tell you that. And that's us also saying it. So,
well, I really appreciate that, because that's one of the things I noticed very early on, is that people are like, well, you know what? I wake up to you and I get excited, and then I go out and film my best stuff.
Yep.
And if that's what I can do, man, I had somebody actually, Rant Jam, say, well, nobody who watches the best hour of your day watches your vlogs. And I'm like, good, because that means I'm doing my job. I'm encouraging the people that watch the best hour of my day. And that's why the best hour of my day is moving off the vlog channel, by the way. But I'm encouraging the people who watch the best hour of my day to go out and do something important. Do what they love, film. Because the people that watch the best hour of my day are not the people that are watching my vlogs. The people that watch the best hour of my day are creators who should be out creating. And if I can encourage those folks to go out and do that after the best hour of my day, man, that makes me feel so good.
Hey, Michael, the funny thing is, if you reach one, you've done your job. I taught for a long time in the inner city of Baltimore, and it was always, they would always say, you want to reach every child. And I said, it's not possible. But if you reach one or two and you're able to inspire and motivate and push that child to do more, you've done your job. And then hopefully the ones you didn't reach, somebody else will get them, because there's somebody out there who will connect to them. So, and that's how it works. So your job is to do what you can to kind of be someone who's inspirational for somebody else. You never know who's going through what at what period of time, and how your words or your videos or your vlogs or whatever is going to reach somebody. And we're finding that out now, which is really cool. That's the fun part of what you do, and that's why you do it for the right reasons.
I recently found,
my brother is a music teacher in inner city Baltimore, and of course it's a program that's always waiting to just be canceled, and he talks about that all the time. Because let's face it, kids don't really go to school to learn, but when they go to music class, they're actually kind of interested. And he talks about how the difficulties, I'm sure that a lot of the places that I got rerouted through on my trip through Baltimore, probably where these kids live. And he said exactly the same thing. If you can touch one or two of these kids and turn them into just being interested, you're doing a good job. And I love that. That's awesome. That's such a good.
There's nothing more rewarding. There's no money you could put on it to compare to the reward for something like that.
And they may never tell you. You may never hear it.
Yep.
But you just kind of have to know that it's happening. And I think that's what kind of makes it worthwhile. And then it transcends whatever your niche is or what you're doing, because you're speaking to someone who's looking for your language at that time, which is really cool.
The biggest thing is watching it being paid forward, and I see it in all of you guys' channels. And when we kind of came on the scene, we kind of came with a whole new idea of doing stuff. I mean, everybody has a right to do it their own way. We picked ours. And I believe as people come back and say, I really appreciate it. I felt this kind of chance to rebirth myself and a new outlook onto it and a new way to they're helping channels now. And I love seeing that progression. It all has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's I can be positive and I can still grow and it's not going to hurt me. I don't have to lose my mind over this. I can still treat people like human beings and grow. And you've seen my rants. Anybody's follows for a while. Like the night I first, when I handed out wrenches that night, I mean, I was on a rant from hell. Wrenches for everybody, wrenches for everybody. I was in a tyrant mode like that, but people got what it was. It's not about the wrench. It was about, I don't care what size of channel you are. We are all YouTubers here.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
And I don't want it dangled over everybody's head all the time. And you all count, you all matter, and just get it through your head and get past that and go on to the main thing is creating great content, supporting everybody else. Because always I believe YouTube should be a step above other social media. We're creators. We're not Facebookers. We're not that kind of stuff. And I feel it became now almost like YouTube became everything dumb comment you've seen on Facebook. Now they're too lazy to type it, so they just go say it in a live stream or on a video. And I want to take that back. I mean, we can't change it all, but at least one step at a time. And I feel like that was our mission, was to get it back on track a little bit in our own way. And it's got to start somewhere.
Well, I think you're doing a great job with it. I mean, because we all started with one, didn't we? I mean,
that's right. You've heard me say that in every live stream. I've said, take Casey and I said, everybody in this live stream right now, at one moment in time, they had the exact same number of subscribers you had.
You mentioned,
it's true.
Even when you're talking about, Nuno Betancourt, like it was a little bit kind of standoffish. Like at one point, he was just learning to play the guitar. People need to remember where they come from and the fact that humility is such a lost art sometimes.
Yes,
most definitely.
And we need more of that because people can sense sincerity. They can tell if you're in things for the right reasons, or you're doing things the right way.
And it does. You take Peter McKinnon. I'm so tired of hate. I don't hate on big guy. I don't. There's a certain couple I do, but like I take Jake Paul is kind of like the music business. That's like the boy band side. He's manufactured. What can I do about it? I can't change him. I'll focus on my own. But somebody like Peter McKinnon, yes, they grew fat, but also he had damn good work to back it up. And he was sincere about it. And when he said, "What's up, everybody?" That's him. Whether he's on the camera or whether he was driving people crazy at the camera shop he worked at, he did that. What's up? That's true to your craft. People a lot of people tend to like what he does, and he was honest. Like he said, I did a couple of videos that were featured in blogs, 8 things you must have in your bag, things like that's where his start came from. But there's a lot to be said sometimes for people who just really put their best foot forward. That
and let's be honest, he's Peter McKinnon is next level good. He really is.
He changed the face of vlogging. He did. He stepped it up by 10.
And that's why Casey Neistat jumped right on his nuts.
He's seen where this is going.
He's that good.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a game changer.
Really that good.
When you guys were talking about go-getters, I just found something the other week I had lost for a long time. When I was in school, I went back at 2000. I had an allergy to spruce, and I was working in forestry. I had a brand new son. I went back to school when I was 26, and I ended up graduating with the second highest marks in the school, where years ago I went to college and failed with a bunch of zeros. Wow. But we had to do a final video. We were working with Adobe Premiere, and we had to do it on a business, and everybody took like a local bakery or something. That was the year the Escalade first came out. And of course, Andrew, and this is my personality, had to take it to the next level. I spent 4 weeks in negotiations with GM Canada.
Yeah.
And finally, they gave me the rights to send me the beta cassette of 2 hours of footage used to make the first 3 commercials of that were ever made for Escalade.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
So we had to run it through a beta machine, an Avid, $500,000 machine, transferred all digitally. And in the end, I got to make the very first. I not only passed with 100%. GM asked for the video when I was done, and they liked it so much they put it on their website, and that was the very first internet commercial that Cadillac ever did. And I found it the other week. This is as 2000 as 2000 gets. I'll warn you right now. It's gonna be a little grainy because it was at 640 by 480, but this is the commercial.
Let's see it. Talk.
Mm.
How's it going, Chris?
What year was it again?
2000.
2000. Wow. 18
Yeah.
years ago, 19 years ago.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was freshman.
I don't want to date myself.
We were in Oklahoma.
I already don't have any hair. I already don't have any hair. I don't
But that was the power of
You had hair?
that
I
was
did
the,
have hair.
that's the power of just taking a chance. And if they could have said no, it would have just been no. But you just try and see what happens. You can't lose. You know, I mean, there's the worst is no, and you go on to the next one. But you got to try. You know.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and it was 80s. I had to write the music. That music was all made by me. That's all loops and everything else. And all that. We had to use it for music class. So yeah, it was early 2000 as 2000 can get. I wasn't exaggerating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't know what else I can say, but this has been pretty amazing for us. I mean, Michael, thank you first of all for coming on, and now you're with us for like 3 hours. So you meant a lot.
I had a 1 hour deal.
I know. 1 hour turned into 3. I'll make it up.
I see you've got the gray pillow on your shoulder too. You must.
Yeah, my buddy came and hung out with me.
Loves to be on screen.
Yes.
He likes to be warm. He really does. And he's very warm right now.
Well, this is the organic nature of how things happen. So we were so excited to have Mike on tonight.
Yeah.
And you were awesome. We can't thank you enough. And again, what you're doing is it's fantastic.
Hopefully we can meet up in March.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I really seriously can't wait. And I know Monica is going to be very excited to meet with you guys.
Cool.
And by the way, thank you so much for introducing me to your audience. I really appreciate that. I hope that those guys with us tonight are interested in what I do and come and check it out. And seriously, if you like what I do, subscribe. If you don't, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Don't waste your subscription on me if you don't like what I do. But if you do, don't hesitate to subscribe. Hopefully I can entertain and have fun with you guys.
And Michael, you've introduced us to so many people, so it's the least we can do. And if 5 people from our channel came over to you, I hope that is sort of worth it. So it's the least we can do.
But yeah,
I love hanging with you guys always. You know that already. So
well, you guys are fantastic. So that we didn't expect. We were happy to have Michael on. Then this Santa's package came to the door.
Santa's package, like we got beer,
all these cool beers,
which we drank 3 already.
But we're saving this. We are saving this. Have I mentioned I'm excited about this? Just in case I haven't told you, Chris. You are my secret Santa this year. I did not realize that.
That's right.
Excellent. Ho ho ho.
Hey, it kind of looks like Santa too, right? Get a great beard and be good to go.
I love it, dude.
Well, come this weekend. I'll be wearing the red suit. So.
Hey.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
Day by day, man.
I love that.
and Drummer says, "Great show, guys." Well, it's a great show because we had Michael Feyrer, we had Beaded Beerman and Pusa Studios. Second story, Michael Feyrer Jr. I'm going to subscribe, so we're getting some people over to you, Michael. Look at that.
And so, by the way, everybody, who's hung in there with us, thank you for. You've been on with us for 3 hours.
It's a long stream for us.
Little brother, thanks for staying up with us.
Holy crap, guys! You got us up to 46, almost 46.50. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hopefully people went to Bearded Beerman too. Get him, please.
Yep.
Please.
Definitely.
I'm 3 away from 400 now. Thank you so much.
No, that's fantastic.
400 tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
Please get with Chris from the Bearded Beerman. If anybody could drop his link in, what a special dude. So definitely check him out.
Definitely.
He is the ultimate cool. I can't say you're mesmerizing sitting there with that background. I'm telling you, it's almost hypnotic.
I agree.
That's right. Work it, baby.
And he brews a good beer. So and obviously Zenny and Andrew, thank you again. We are,
they're forever grateful.
You're like the godfathers of getting us started.
That's right.
Right back at you. Everything that you guys give us a compliment, we can throw it back at you. We're all in this together.
We're long overdue for a nice little official chat to get together. Like I said, Andrew, we got some music to catch
Yes,
up on.
I'm buying. I'm gonna maybe this weekend.
Oh my God.
Hey, tomorrow, even though it bothers me, I'm going to throw it out there, but they announced the Hall of Fame nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Def Leppard was the leading vote getter. No, we don't know. We find out tomorrow.
Okay.
They should get in.
Okay.
10 years overdue, but we'll be able to talk about that next time.
I assume we're gonna do a video for that.
Oh, I've already got a brew. I've got. So we're gonna call. So I'm gonna give you a sneak peek for the viewer over there. My brew, if Left gets in, I'm gonna do a beer called Rock of Ages, twofold. One is obviously for it. Now, Michael, you like that because it's a Power Mania song, so you can dig it. So we'll do called Rock of Ages. But I had this poster in my room when I was a kid of Tim Raines that said Rock of Ages. His name is The Rock. So his name so it's a twofold. The Rock of Ages is going to be a Montreal Expo / Def Leppard tribute Hall of Fame beer.
So you need some like Canadian malt.
Yeah.
Canadian malt. With some English hops. There you go.
We'll figure something fun out. But yes.
And while you're on beers, when are you going to do the Iron Maiden wasted beers?
We
had to. I saw the Trooper today.
We got to do that. Yeah, we got to do that. That's a good point.
I always think of that name now every time because Wasted Years is my favorite song. And every time I'm like, they got to do wasted beers. That's the name, right?
That's a good idea. That's a great idea. We'll contribute.
We have a few. You know, after we did the Hysteria review video where we did this beer. By the way, Chris, I tell you, thank you again. So thank you.
So cool.
Man, you owe him.
I thought I do. I want to do more of that musical collaboration too, and some stuff like that. So we'll
no doubt about
some stuff coming.
Yeah, you gotta do a Slayer Deadskin mask.
Yes.
There you go. Hey, Michael, I'm going to compete with you on Friday. I'm going live for a brew day at 10 a.m. So I'm sorry. I'll be competing on Friday. I'm actually doing it. Maybe I'll go at 11. Maybe I'll go. Oh wait. Maybe I'll go at 10:30. I don't want to compete, but we're not competing. But
I'd rather go watch you, Mike. So I'll
well, yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, you do the best you can, and I always try to avoid going against Pusa as well.
I'll go
but sometimes it happens.
There's only 24 hours in a day, so
and sometimes somebody is on. There's always somebody on. There's always somebody on.
By the way, Pusa, before we check out, I just want to say you guys have been there almost from the beginning of my channel, and I just want to say you are about the only folks that I haven't met in person. So I hope that there's some way you guys can make it to Baltimore so I get a chance to have the opportunity to meet with you guys.
Oh, I love
Between you guys and Happy Trails Hiking, literally, you're the only folks that from the very beginning of my channel I have not met. So I hope that somehow you guys can make it to Baltimore in March and hang out with us. It would really mean a lot.
Stranger things have happened, my friends. Stranger things have happened. We'd love to. When you guys were in New York the falls the other week, I almost thought about just jumping in the car and going. If we had parents living in Montreal, like my parents were living here, could watch the kids in a heartbeat, we'd be gone. So that's always the thing.
If not, Mike, we'll go up to Montreal to catch an Expos game when they get the team back, because that's the next goal of my life.
I need to get my passport. That's the problem. If I had that, I'd probably have already been up there when it's not cold.
When it's not cold. I don't believe it. Yeah,
that's the key.
Our summers are a lot like Miami here. They're very, very hot and humid.
So come in spring and fall.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
Thank you so much for having us.
You guys are awesome.
Cheers to you all. Thank you,
Michael, Chris, and all you guys. Cheers.
Cheers to all. Thank you.
Awesome.
Have a good one, guys. Keep
all right, guys. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Until next time.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Take care, guys. Thanks.